Well, we're ready now.
I don't even see it. Are we live?
It's about to be live. I already pressed it. I pressed the live button. I think we're live, aren't we?
I don't see shit.
Are you serious?
I see the timer. Oh, now it finally clicked in.
Yeah, it went live. I see it. There we go.
Oh shit.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? OJ here. Welcome back to another PE podcast. We got episode number 53. Sorry for the being late. We've been having all sorts of technical difficulties going on. I'm not sure what it is. There's been issues with YouTube, Google Hangouts, all sorts of stuff. But we still got a good show for you guys. But it's not going to go as long as before. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties though with some of the stuff that's going on with Google and also with some of the members' streams or video or internet or whatever. So anyway, it happens.
Yeah, it happens, people. It happens. But what you need to do, if you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and tweet, retweet, subtweet, whatever type of tweet you want to do, because we about to have a victory speech up in here tonight, boy.
A victory speech? What happened?
Victory speech. Oh, you know what happened.
What happened?
Them pretty numbers came out.
Oh,
pretty numbers came out.
It says it in the title, doesn't it?
Yeah, them pretty numbers came out. We got to celebrate that.
Are you sure?
Victory that the haters said will never ever be possible because Nintendo Switch is a kid's console. Oh. I'm gonna love it today. Oh, I'm gonna beat some ass today, boy.
Well, let me ask you a question, Baron. Since you're talking, I want to introduce you. Everybody, Baron is here. How you doing today, Baron?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm doing good because I got the bank head bound. Hey, the Switch numbers came out. It's lovely. I think it's hilarious that everything I said about Sony is now coming to fruition, coming from his own CEO's mouth. So this is gonna be a good podcast because I'll be dancing all night, bro.
We'll talk about that. That should be fun, right? I would guess that you have a lot of Sony fans that really adore and admire your work, Baron. I would think so, right?
Sony fans love me so much that they all follow me on Twitter. And it's the second I hit that send button on the tweet, they're there like this. Oh, I hate you, goddammit. I got them. They're like puppets. They're like my puppets. I just have them. I'm the string master. I'm just pulling the strings, and then they just dance for me. They dance. They dance like fire ants. Just dance for me.
You know what the thing is? I think the biggest misconception is that I don't like Sony, and it's not the case. I actually own every single Sony system ever made. For the most, except for like the rare ones.
I own every Sony home console ever made.
Yeah, I even own a Vita and told people to buy one. So
I did not own a PSP. Actually, I did own a PSP because I stole it from work, and I shouldn't admit that on live stream. But I did.
You definitely shouldn't.
I mean, that was about 10 years ago. So whatever.
Dude, that's still okay. Well, I guess statute of limitations or whatever. But like, still, like you never not want to be a wrestler anymore. They're gonna refer back to this. Oh, so I see that you stole you stole a PSP, huh?
I was underage at the time, so.
What are you talking about, Baron? You weren't underage. You're like 20.
I was underage at the time. Well, and, you do stupid stuff when you're not an adult, but.
People do stupid stuff when they're an adult. What are you talking about? I do stupid stuff now.
So yeah, I did have a PSP at one point, but I ended up getting rid of it like a week later. So I didn't even use the shit. So it didn't matter. But I owned every Sony console, so I had them all. So
all right. Yeah, well, it's just us two. We are gonna have. I think Avedon's gonna hop on when he has time. And if Jordan can ever get things figured out, he'll hop on too. But yeah, like I said, we got a good show for you guys. I got Twitch Boys up. I can see all you guys here. So you guys see the title here. We're gonna go through a lot of different stuff. We're gonna start off with the NPD numbers. Baron's favorite.
My favorite. Let me say this before you get into it though. The PSP was not stolen from somebody else. Okay. Because some people are tripping like, oh, it was a PSP that was
Bro, you should have admitted that, bro. We got people calling the cops on us for simply like walking down the street, picking up trash.
What they gonna call the cops on me? Ooh.
Yeah, they do. Like
this
dude,
dark skinned man stole the PSP 10
bro,
years ago.
bro. But you know how it is though.
Artist. Like, come on, man.
You know how, but you know how it is though. Like I said, I watched the video today. A dude picking up trash for work. Got the cops calling him for picking up trash outside of his complex. Cop talking about, you got a weapon. I feel threatened.
Because he was picking up trash. Wow.
Yeah, he had a trash picker and he had a bucket and he was picking up trash and somebody called the cops on him. They said there's a suspicious looking guy picking up trash.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, like, you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
I get it, because, you know, if you turn into the wrong neighborhood, in any type of car, you can't sit in the neighborhood too long. People start looking out their windows, start calling numbers.
No, you can't. My mom's neighborhood, that happens to me all the time.
It is so annoying, man.
It don't happen over here where I live, but where my mom lives, hey, bro, at least 3 times me chilling in the car with my brother. One time, cop pulled up. 2 other times, cop pulled up and asked me what I'm doing. I'm just like,
don't you hate that? Like, I think
my mom lives here. I'm just waiting, you know. Let me see some ID. I'm like, oh god, here we go.
Don't you want to see some ID?
Hey,
I can't stand that. That thing bothers me.
I'm
so
like,
people. I have cops pull me. Let me say this real quick, because we waiting on people to join anyway. Let me say this real quick before we hop in this. But let me say this real quick, man. Look, I had cops. They're ridiculous, man. Like, I understand their job, and a lot of them do their job well. It's just a handful of them that's just dumbasses. It's like you pull me over, right? And then the first thing you say, where you going? What the hell you mean where I'm going? Like, I have the right to go wherever the hell I want to go. It's where you going, where you heading, why are you here? And then I got to the point to where when people pull me over, I simply just hand my license out the window before they even come to my window. And they were like, well, what are you doing? I'm obviously giving you my license, dumbass. Why are you asking me what I'm doing? You're going to do it anyway. So, I mean, I didn't ask you for that yet. Even when I'm complying and giving you my license, I didn't ask you for that yet. Some cops are just ridiculous, man.
Let me ask Jordan a question. Is this internet still ridiculous?
Oh, man. I didn't know Jordan.
Yo, what's up, Avedon? How's it going, my man?
What's going on, man?
I hope not, because I just sent you a picture of my speed.
My bad.
No, it's all good.
Am I lagging still? I just sent you a picture.
Oh, you lagging a little bit less.
A little bit less, yeah.
I don't know. And maybe it's your PC or something.
Hey, Jordan, can I say hi to, hey, Jordan, what's up?
Oh, Lord. Well, that's it for Jordan, man. That's sad, man.
Yeah, I think Jordan might need to take the night off, man. Jordan might need to take the night off. Yo, what's up, Avedon, man? Thanks for hopping on such short notice, man. I know you were eating and everything. You're probably spending time with your fam. I'm sorry about that, man.
Now you good. It's like kids are in bed. She's watching shows that I don't really care for. So I'm like, hey, cool.
Yo, your wife. Hey, if there was a tier list, man, your wife is S tier for you. Letting you just hop on the podcast like that. I'm not making you watch the show with her, bro. S tier right there, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the Nigerian women coming in clutch, bro.
All day.
Oh, here we go.
All day.
Here we go with this.
Look at this non-believer over here, bro.
All day.
You know, look.
Hey,
we won't get into this. We won't get into this.
I like a little mixture.
I thought you were gonna say you like big butts.
I mean, who doesn't like a fat ass?
You would be surprised. The type of, I went to a high school with just a little bit of, like I said, maybe some people do like mayonnaise quite a bit at the high school that I went to, and you'd be surprised.
So look, there's nothing wrong with I'm not gonna call them mayonnaise. There's nothing wrong with Caucasian.
I didn't say it that way. Stop it. I said they like mayonnaise. That could be anybody.
I would call them Caucasian over mayonnaise.
No, but I didn't say they're mayonnaise. I said that they potentially like mayonnaise.
OJ digging himself a hole already.
No, you assuming.
You said mayonnaise.
No, I said they potentially like mayonnaise.
The chat getting on your ass now.
See?
Oh man, look. I still remember I still remember
This is
my
my fault,
last.
guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's not showing. OJ to killing you in the chat. Look, I still remember my last Caucasian girlfriend. I still remember her name. I need to find her, man. I need to find her. See what she up to. OJ, why are you so quiet? Ooh, man,
I'm just messing around, guys.
I know you are, but damn, OJ. Potentially like mayonnaise. Like,
I've never heard that before. That was
I'm like,
that was
what?
slick. That was slick.
Man.
Nobody even knows what that means. They're just angry. You know how internet works.
Oh man. Somebody said Mayo Clinic. Oh man, y'all crazy.
You're the one. Baron's the one who out here trying to make it all try to separate people and stuff, man.
I didn't say. You said Nigerian. I said, oh, yeah, here I go with that. And I talked about. And you said Mayo out of nowhere. I was like, why did you just say that?
Gunslinger says you better not find mayonnaise on your bunk bed, OJ.
Oh Lord.
Oh my god, that's funny, man. Shout outs to FJ with the membership. Also, shout outs to Zyphos. Thank you guys for resubbing up. Appreciate that. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into the topics here. I think we're done being silly. Well, not for the night, but for right now. We're probably gonna still be silly. So, Switch tops the NPD charts. I have the leaked numbers for you guys. So, Switch apparently sold 227,000 units. And then I think PS4 sold, I think it was like 160 something or 170. Then like Xbox One was like 140. So yeah, pretty good all around. Pretty good all around for the Nintendo Switch this month. Mortal Kombat was the #1 game, and Mortal Kombat actually accomplished something. I made a video on this, but Mortal Kombat accomplished something that we haven't truly seen from a real third-party game on Switch since like 2008, since like Madden All Play on the Wii. Now, if you count Mario plus Rabbids, okay, you can count that, but to be like a real third-party game, it was the first time that the #1 game on the NPD charts was the #1 selling game and the #1 selling game on a Nintendo system since Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Okay? So, but Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, was that ever #1 on the NPD charts?
No, that was #1 on the Switch charts, not the NPD.
Yeah, so Mortal Kombat accomplished something for the first time since 2008, which was Madden All Play, it was the #1 game on the actual NPD charts, and it was the #1 game for every system it was released on. The PS3, the Xbox 360, the PS2, the Wii, everything that it was released on, it was #1 on everything, and it was the #1 system sold on a Nintendo platform. That's the first time we've seen that really, actually since 2008 for a Nintendo platform, which is nuts. So, which is just absolutely crazy. Shout outs to Matthew Hammond with the $3 donation through Streamon. Says OJ likes D and now mayonnaise. There you go.
Oh, wow.
There you go, dude. I was about to say something that would have just dug me in a deeper hole.
Glad you stopped yourself.
But I did it.
Trust me, the chat already put the two together.
but I did it. But I didn't. So I'm just gonna smile and say thank you for the $3 donation, Matthew. Appreciate that, my man. All right, so I'm gonna start off with Abaddon because I already know Baron's gonna go Scorched Earth on us. He's gonna go Magic Johnson on first take on us over here.
Oh, definitely.
This man's gonna go Magic. So let me start off with Abaddon. Abaddon, what's your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 11? You know, we've had videos of people popping up saying like, oh well, look, this proves that Switch can get big AAA games day and date and it sells, blah, 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 So what's your thoughts on this when it comes to Mortal Kombat, NPD sales? Switch, I think it's for the last half year now, last 6 months, Switch has been #1 in this chart. So what are your thoughts, man?
It's basically proof that just gamers are shifting their priorities. Like, you look at where the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, it's like that was our era. We grew up playing that, and that's where gaming really started to blossom. So now that gaming's growing up with us, and now that most of us are adults now, we don't got the time to sit tethered in front of the TV like we used to. We couldn't play Mortal Kombat like we used to because we gotta work. We got jobs to do. So bringing a game like Mortal Kombat on the go is a game changer. Bringing games like Final Fantasy VII on the go is a game changer. Bringing games like Zelda on the go is a game changer, and that's why you see Sony and Microsoft focusing so much on a cloud-based console and service now, because this is the direction gaming is going. So honestly, when I see this, it's just a sign that game is going to change into something much greater in the long run.
Okay. That's interesting because it seems like Sony doesn't necessarily think as much of that. When it comes to, like, we're talking about like Sony saying like that whole niche thing, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. So I'm gonna go real quick and then we'll let Baron go. So because Baron's probably got something good to say. So yeah, guys. I mean, I'll be honest. Like it's funny when I saw this in like some of the reactions, because I knew people might overreact to it, but I don't really think. I personally think this is great. Switch sold more units in March than it did in April. That's one thing that a lot of people aren't mentioning, is that it actually sold a lot more, as in like over 100,000 units more. And that was without Mortal Kombat. That was without a big AAA game. So, I mean, while you can attribute like, okay, yeah, that's helping a bit, it's not like that's the deciding factor or not. If that was the case, then why did March sell more than April? That's my biggest thing. And why did we have other months, even this year, do more than 200-something thousand, So for me, I just see it as like, you know what? It's always great. I think third-party games always help out. I'm actually really impressed with the fact that it outsold Smash Brothers with Joker launching. I will say that's impressive, because Joker launched, and you always know that there's a big bump in Smash Brothers sales. Like Smash Brothers, I think was number 6 on the list. Not including digital, number 6 on the list, which is really good, So the fact that Mortal Kombat on Switch outsold Smash Brothers with Joker launching is impressive, even though Smash Brothers has already been out for multiple months. I still think that's really good, considering what Smash Brothers is. And so yeah, that's awesome, and I like to see that. But I don't think this is really going to influence developers any one way or another, which I'll talk about that, and I'll probably talk about that in a separate video. Maybe we can talk about it now more, but I don't really know how much, because, I've said this before. I just think that the Switch, it's going to go as far as Nintendo takes it. It's really going to go as far as Nintendo takes it. And that's the reason why people are buying this system, is because Nintendo has the first-party games. People are still buying Splatoon. People are still buying Mario Kart. That's still a top NPD. People are still buying Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. These games are all still what's kind of carrying the Switch at this point.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because 2 of those games are considered ports. Breath of the Wild, since the base game was made on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And Mario Kart 8. Like, these are base games. They're the top 2 selling games on the Switch right now. So some of the top selling games on the Switch.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing at how Nintendo's doing right now. But I want to hear what Baron has to say about this.
Yeah, Baron, what's up, man? Are you still here? Everything still good?
Yeah. I was just letting y'all get it all out, man. Before
we're good. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Have fun. Just no F-bombs.
Man, I think you're selling this too damn. I know. I got it. Okay. I'm gonna use a lot more mayo bombs than F-bombs. Okay? Now,
this guy.
Now, okay. Let me stop. Now, I think you're selling this a little bit too short, bro. I think you're selling it a little bit too short right now. I believe this is way more significant than what you're making it out to be.
Okay.
That's what I feel like. I feel like what third parties had a problem with the last 2 generations, especially during the Wii U, was if we bring something over, will it sell? And that was their first thing that was scared of. If we bring something over, would it sell? And then the second thing was, could we ever get them to sell to a point that they'll sell better than Nintendo games? And Bethesda, I believe, said this like last year. They said they was very happy with the success of Wolfenstein 2, Doom, and what was the other game they released? It was another game they released. They was very happy with the sales of that. But they quoted and they said, we're happy to be second behind Nintendo, but because we know our software will never eclipse selling how Nintendo software sells. So Mortal Kombat came out and absolutely blew that out of the water. Like it it was able to sell more than a Nintendo published game. And I believe that's one thing that third-party developers really thought they could never do when it came to Nintendo platforms, is that can we sell our games as much or outsell a Nintendo product in the same month? People keep forgetting that Yoshi's Crafted World came out at the end of March.
Yeah.
So it was a brand new title, and it outsold that. And like you said, for it to outsell Smash Brothers, yes, Smash Brothers came out in December, but Smash Brothers been going strong ever since it released. It's never dropped out the top 5. It wasn't 6, it was 5. It never dropped in the top 5 since it launched in December, and it's not going to drop because you got all that DLC coming in. So I think you got to understand, the game outsold Smash Brothers. You got to think about that for a minute. Another fighting game, Smash Brothers, which is the best fighting game of all time and the best-selling fighting game of all time.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11 was able to outsell that. And the other myth that the third parties really, mostly haters and fans in the community believe that mature-rated titles cannot succeed on Nintendo platform. Mortal Kombat blew that out the water as well. It blew that completely out of the water. And that's what I've been telling people for the longest. It's like, it's not that these games won't sell. It's that you got to give a quality experience, which we could not really get with the Wii and the Wii U because, the power parity. Now the power parity is really not that big of a factor, so you can deliver the same exact experience that you get on the other competing consoles. But the other thing they had to fight is that these games have to release at the same time because some people are not going to wait. So what happens when you finally do it? NBA 2K was first example. The second NBA 2K19 was the second example, and now it finally blew the floodgate open with Mortal Kombat 11. When you get it day and date and it's quality, they are going to buy it. It's just simple as that. You got to understand, it's not that Nintendo fans don't want to buy these third-party games or don't want to buy mature games. They don't want to buy trash. That is the difference. When you are treated with such high quality content that Nintendo gives you consistently year in and year out, your standards are a little bit higher. So you're not going to sit up there and buy a trash ass Anthem or buy a Fallout 76 or buy a trash Dawn or something like that. You will have certain standards. So if you meet those standards and you release day and date, you will be rewarded. And Mortal Kombat 11 showed that and proved that. That's why I was so happy when I seen it, because so many people really believe that this game was going to fail on Switch, to the point that I actually seen people campaigning on social media for people to not buy the game on Switch. That's how ridiculous it was.
I've seen that too, actually.
Oh, you bought that on Switch? How can you buy it on the Switch? Because that's where I want to play it at. I don't want to be tethered to the living room, just like Avedon said. And this also proves another point, that what I've been saying about when it comes to Nintendo Switch, people are more mobile now. People cannot sit in the living room all the time anymore like they used to back in the day, like we used to. So Nintendo Switch is a system that gives you that option to take your game with you and you don't lose none of the experience. And Mortal Kombat 11 broke that window open as well. So now third-party developers, I think this does affect third-party developers. I think third-party developers will coming along anyway, and you'll see a lot more support during the later half of the year, especially at E3. But I think this really going to open a lot of people's eyes that we need to get our Switch versions out at the same damn time if we want to experience these sales and we want to make this money. It's all about making money. The Switch is the top selling damn console right now. The Switch just surpassed the PS4 in Japan. The Switch is going to pass the Xbox One before the summer is over, especially when Mario Maker 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and Fire Emblem 3 House launching 3 weeks of each other. It's going to happen. It's like, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish. Sorry.
No, once that happens, if you're a third-party developer and you don't have your game on the Switch, you look like a fool. The Switch is going to be the best-selling console this year. Nothing is going to stop that. The PS4 is going to continue to decline because Sony has pulled all their support out of it. We already see that. They already said that. Pretty much everything from now on is going to be crushed and type of thing when it comes to PS4. So the Switch is going to be the console. So if you are not putting your games out there, you are a fool. And I think some people already know this. That's why we had confirmation of Doom Eternal and Wolfenstein and Youngblood and stuff like that already down the pipeline that's already saying day and date. So when they see how Mortal Kombat 11 did, I'm pretty sure Bethesda is going to be pretty happy when they see when Doom Eternal comes out later this year. So it's like this is a big thing. It is a big thing. Okay. And I don't want nobody to undersell it because it's a major thing.
Okay. Gotcha. Yo, what's up, Jordan? How's it going?
Oh, Jordan's back.
Yeah, he is. Jordan froze.
You tell me. Is it laggy?
A little bit lower.
Hey, Jordan, what's up? Can you respond to me really quickly? Never mind.
Yeah, he dropped out. But go ahead and say what you was about to say.
Okay, so look, Baron, you make a lot of damn good points, which you were talking about in your video too,
Yeah, I made a video on that if anybody want to go watch it.
Yeah, you guys have to go watch the video. After we're done with the podcast, you guys go watch that video. Yeah. It's a good video. Don't read the comments, though. But watch the video. But you make a lot of good points. And you know what? I want to believe you. And if this was last generation, I'd be like, yeah! I'd pick up my sword and shield and with the Nintendo logo on there and be like, charge! I would do it. But the problem is that I've spoken
last generation. Okay, go ahead.
Last generation, like 7th gen,
Oh, okay.
Like,
I thought you were talking about Wii U.
Yeah, Wii U.
You would believe that speech in the Wii U era than the Switch era?
Because we hadn't seen it in the Wii U era, right? Because the system wasn't selling. So the system wasn't selling, and people were desperately trying to look for, remember Operation Platinum, whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was all that stuff kind of going on. Like, we need something to spark, because games were just flopping like crazy. The problem that I have is back in 2017, they saw the sales of old port Skyrim do really well. Doom did good for what it was, being priced so much more than the other system. The fact that if you could even sell 500,000 copies of that, that'd be incredible. Even 300,000 copies when you can get it for $5 on Steam or $15 on Xbox, and it runs better, looks better, all of that stuff. The fact that game sold over, what it did, I think it sold over 200,000 or 300,000, whatever it's at, you know what I'm saying? The fact that it even did that, to me, that should have been enough. There's all these different things that's coming every single time, and yet there's an excuse after excuse after excuse for third party, which I already said that there would be in 2017. At this point, I feel that they don't want to make games day and date. They could. You have CEOs and executives making $20-30 million a year doing all this type of stuff. They could, but they haven't at this point, and they don't want to. They could get other teams to do it. Who the hell was Shiver? Nobody knew who the hell Shiver was, and Shiver made a port. So to me, I feel that these Western developers, which I'm not mad at, by the way, I'm just going off of what I see and what I've seen so far. They don't want to. And if they don't want to, they don't want to. Plain and simple. They don't need Nintendo. And they've constantly shown throughout the generation so far as that they don't need Nintendo. If they feel like doing something, they will. Diablo 3 came to the Switch because the developers wanted something to play on their playing trips. Not because they felt that it'd be, oh my gosh, this was going to be amazing. It's because they were like, damn, it would be pretty good to play Diablo on the plane. Let's make it real quick because we got a lot of business trips coming up next year. Let's do it. Let's get it done in 9 months.
And guess what? And that's a good point. And I think that example you just gave me reinforces my argument. I think the success, because some people don't remember the success of Diablo. Diablo charted on the NPD only on the Switch release. Yeah. So that was major for them. I think that opened their eyes. And I think that's why they ended up saying that Doom Eternal would be day and date with the rest of the versions. I think that opened their eyes a little bit. And it's like, okay, we're pretty much going to almost sell anything at this point. Let's make sure we get this game out now. And I think when they see what Mortal Kombat 11 did, I think a lot of people want to do that. And we also got to think about the fact that some third parties jumped on late, and development cycle is going to play a key role. It's going to be less of a key role this fall because people are able to catch up. You need to look at people like Namco, who hustled and bust their ass to get these games out quicker. The turnaround for DBZ Fighters was not that long. The turnaround for Wolfenstein 2 was not that long. So they realized once they seen success, they tried to get these other teams involved to get these games on the platform. So I don't fault them for trying to catch up. You should have been there from day one. I agree with you on that. You should have been there from day one. But once you realize that, we fucked up, we need to get on this. We need to get on this bandwagon for it. Depart the station. Some people are trying to catch up, but that
who?
point you made. But here's the thing: Panic Button even came out on Twitter and said this. They said they had to turn down companies to do ports because so many people are trying to come at them to do it.
Which is a problem. And see, I think that's the biggest issue that I have. It's this reliance on Panic Button is frustrating. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where Shiver comes in at. Shiver was like some kind of developer they threw together in the last few years.
Well,
so I applaud NetherRealm. They was like, we're too far into the development cycle for the PS4 and Xbox One. Let's get some help on the outside. Let's get this game, and I believe Ed Boon spearheaded this. Let's get this game out on the same day. We just need some help. And they trusted the studio. The studio did a pretty solid job, and they got rewarded. So I'm pretty sure that studio is going to be getting a lot of work from now on. So yeah, Panic Button was the only person that was doing these type of ports, so I can understand. But the fact that Panic Button publicly,
and Iron Galaxy.
The fact that Panic Button came out and said we had to turn people down, I think it reinforces my argument that people are like, we have to get on Switch quickly.
Well,
in fact,
my issue, we're gonna get to Avedon and what Avedon thinks about all of that, but my issue is I'm not upset, but I'm like, okay, well, where is Panic Button 2? Okay, let's just say Panic Button 2 is Iron Galaxy, right? Or Virtuos. Okay, Panic Button 3 is one of out of those three, okay? Why isn't there like 6 or 7 Panic Buttons? There should be like 6 or 7. We should have heard in GameIndustry.biz, Activision forms a Switch studio. This person forms a Switch studio. Like, this should have already been a thing, and that's the reason why I'm thinking they don't want to do it then. If they can get it done, If Panic Button's there, if Iron got, if not, oh well. That's my thought process with these third-party developers. If we can, maybe, but if not, oh well. PS4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't care.
But I think it's at the point that they can't rely on Xbox One no more.
Yeah, they can.
Do you
same
see
architecture.
The ratio of sales when it comes to third
same
party
same architecture. If Nintendo made
I'm talking about they can't rely on Xbox One when it comes to third party sales. I'm talking about not development.
It doesn't matter. They can rely on PC and PlayStation, and Xbox is a clone box, so it doesn't matter. That's the reason why you gotta give credit to people who was there at the beginning. Yeah, true.
Like 2K, they did all their shit in house. They put out quality shit. I'm talking about NBA 2K, that studio. They put out quality shit, and they've been there since day one, and they've been rewarded. The game's been selling, so they keep supporting it. So it's like some people hopped on. They should have been doing this in-house development because it's really not that hard. You got people that's porting eShop games in 3 weeks. So it's like, it's all about that. Either you wanted to be on the Switch bandwagon early or you trying to catch up. That's the position in. So the only company you can say and really say that to is EA, because EA is on some bullshit. If EA does not put every goddamn piece of software they got on Switch this fall, they are idiots.
We already know that they're not. But Avedon, what is your thoughts in terms of like this whole the dynamic like with Switch and the developers and what's going on? What's your take on what we just discussed?
Basically, I agree with Baron because, well, partially. I'll say I partially agree because in some instances, people were playing catch up. Everyone got dev kits early. When the dev kits came out, everyone got dev kits early. Bethesda was one of the few that has been back in the Switch since 2017 onward, like faithfully. Capcom has been playing tit for tat.
Yeah,
they jump in. It's like I want to get in, I want to get out, want to get in, want to get out. Like that's how Capcom's been doing because they gave us super port of Ultra Street Fighter 2, which arguably is better than the anniversary game. The anniversary game, in my opinion, looking at Capcom is bad. So when I look at all these different and see what Baron is saying, look at all these different companies. Everyone's still playing, like he said, there's a lot of people that are paying catch up because they see like the Switch is feasible now. Where you see games like Mortal Kombat, like you said, Mortal Kombat, like I didn't think about it until you said it. Mortal Kombat beat out Smash Brothers for a month. And Smash Brothers crushed every single record that we know with fighting games in the fastest time possible. Even at that, in 4 months, it crushed like 30 years, like 20 to 30 years of legacy of fighting games. So when we look at it from that angle, I can see where Baron's coming from, seeing how the Switch is definitely going to be a monster to mess with. And it goes back to the point where I said earlier, it just goes to show that Sony is what we're going to touch more into this later down the line. But Sony and Microsoft, they're changing on how they're going to go there. They're changing on how their games are going to be available because they are seeing now that no matter how good, no matter how much the graphic fidelity of their games, if they can offer options to be more flexible for the consumer, it's not going to be that good. It's not going to be they're not going to get the best sales. The Switch is going to take over, especially when we get the Switch Pro and better iterations of the Switch.
And another point that also why I said don't undersell Mortal Kombat 11. What day did Mortal Kombat 11 came out? The 23rd of April, the end of the month.
That's true. Yeah,
that is a good point.
Crushed it.
Yeah,
that means people was waiting
pre-order,
for that to drop on
pre-order.
And
I remember logging into the eShop, and that game was in the top 3 for like 2 weeks, and it stayed in the top 10 until probably a week ago. So people were waiting on that game.
No, I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has a legacy on Nintendo systems. Despite there not being a Mortal Kombat game in about over a decade, it still has a legacy on being on Nintendo systems all the way back to the Super Nintendo. I mean, I think
Mortal Kombat 2 was my favorite one.
On the Game Boy or something like that, too. So I mean,
yeah, they had it on Game Boy. Regular Game Boy.
There was Mortal Kombat on the DS. I think that was the last one, the one on the DS. And there was Mortal Kombat on the Wii, too. And there was Mortal Kombat on the N64. And there's been Mortal Kombat on everything. GameCube, there's been Mortal Kombat on all their systems. You know, all their main systems have had Mortal Kombat since the Super Nintendo.
Did Wii U have Mortal Kombat? I don't think Wii U had Mortal Kombat.
Wii U didn't get Mortal Kombat.
Wii U didn't have Mortal Kombat.
But it got Injustice. But it didn't get Mortal Kombat. Injustice did really bad on the Wii U.
Wii U got Injustice, and it got Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
Yeah. So I mean, I look at it this way. Like, Baron, actually, you made a lot of good points, and it made me rethink some of the stuff that I have to say in my video that I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I'm just saying, think about it, bro. The game came out on the 23rd of April.
No, and I know this. My problem is that I don't like. I personally feel that it shouldn't have came to this point to where, like, oh, well, now you see, you know, at this point, because it's like no other system has to go through that. But that's
true.
That's the route that you take. If you don't make a clone box, this is what third-party developers will do to you. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. If you don't make a box that's x86, that's slow optical drive, blah blah blah, what they want, this is what will happen. And like I said, they want to make money, but then again, that doesn't mean they want to bend over backwards to make money. And that's the thing. The day that Nintendo makes identical system, if the PS5 comes out and Nintendo looks at this thing, cracks it open, and makes an identical system to this, they would get whatever the other systems get. You know what I'm saying? If it's identical, but that's what they want.
I mean, they said the architecture is pretty close anyway. That's why people can port their games over so quickly.
Well,
so I don't think, but it's not a carbon copy.
No. It's not about the architecture, because the architecture is different. One of them uses x86, okay? One of them uses ARM. The way that you code for x86 and ARM is different. More writing that you have to do for ARM.
Yeah.
ARM is mobile, so it's smaller. So there are differences. Now, the architecture that it uses, Tegra, which is more known for like PC. So it is architecture that they're familiar with because they've been they know how to make mobile games. They know how to make stuff on like Tegra and, you know, the stuff that's been out there using this, you know, but at the same time, it's still not x86. It still doesn't have the same amount of RAM. In terms of that, you got to make cutbacks there and compress. It doesn't have the same amount of...
it's the RAM and the compression that really makes them kind of lazy.
Exactly. Then you have to worry about cartridge sizes. There's also all sorts of other things, and they don't want to deal with that. That was their number one complaint about the 7th generation. Or no, hold up. About the 7th and 6th generation. About almost every single generation is like, why the hell are you guys making a bunch of systems that are different? We need them to be the same. That's what they wanted the most, and that's why, like, when the Wii came out, it was like, well, no, we ain't dealing with this until it was successful, and they're like, oh crap.
And then some people tried, then magically Call of Duty was able to run on a Wii.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I would also want to bring out another point that is sort of now, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. We didn't see real footage of Mortal Kombat 11 like a week before it came out, right?
Yeah, it was like before. Well, people got to play it at PAX.
PAX, other than that.
Yeah, and what it was is what I pretty much thought it was, is that it had a day one update that was going to change how the game looked. So that's why they hid it for a while. It's like they didn't want to show it because that wasn't what you was going to play on day one anyway. But some people ended up uploading the wrong shit. Didn't update the game on the early footage, but a lot of people caught whiff of it, and then after people seeing what the game really looked like at what you are going to play on day one, then people started buying in, and as you can see, the sales proved it. So
let me get into some of these donations because we do have quite a
Yeah.
number of them. So Hentai Lover 17 donated $1. Says first, your stream is competing with Dreamcast guys right now. Yeah, I think he's doing a Q&A. I don't really call it competition. It's just extra content for people to watch. Second, what's wrong with mayonnaise? Because there are many attractive mayonnaise. Oh God, I'm not reading this. All right, Five Nights at Freddy's donated $2 and says thank you everyone for this awesome content. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Five Nights at Freddy's. Appreciate that. Icy Boy says yes with the $5 donation. Thank you so much. Matthew Hammond donated.
What was that for?
He just said yeah. He likes the podcast, man. Matthew Hammond says donated $5 and says, where is Capcom on porting RE game engine? Tell Nintendo we need more RAM to port our new games to your console, and nothing has come over but old games. Well, they never. That was the translated thing that they said, but once again, Matthew,
that's bullshit. Panic Button even called them out on that shit on Twitter.
We already talked about this, dude. It doesn't matter if they said whatever they said, it was fine. Because it's a good idea. It's a good idea to have more RAM and everything like that. Even porting over old games, having more RAM and having better specs is good. Even for porting over last gen games. You don't want it to be less than what last gen had or barely over. You want it to be more. So a game like Resident Evil Revelations 2, for example, the fact that it can run, because that was the PS4 and Xbox One version, that might have been the difference between getting a straight port of the PS3 version or actually getting the PS4 versions that had the upgrades of those ports, you know what I'm saying, that had the extra detail and the texture and ran at a certain frame rate. So it's not just about, well, RE Engine, where's that? It's about actually getting the games to run better or getting the PS4 versions of those ports, or unless you wanted the straight 360 ones. So in my opinion, I believe, regardless of what you feel, it was a good idea for Capcom to tell them to put extra RAM in there, no matter how you feel about it, or asking where's RE Engine games or whatever the case is. What if they're making games exclusive to the Switch and they're going to be using that power for that itself? You never know. So for me, and the biggest thing for me is like Resident Evil Revelations 2. That's it, because if it had less, it wouldn't have run as fluid, because I don't know if you've played that game on the PS3 or 360, but there's a couple things with that game on the PS3 and 360 version, whereas the Switch version runs great, of Resident Evil Revelations 2. So if you had less, you might be getting it like the PS3 and 360 version of that game. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad thing, regardless of there not being any RE Engine games on there at this point.
When it comes to RE Engine, man, it's all about Capcom not wanting to do the work to optimize for it for Switch. I mean, if Panic Button went out and campaigned to Capcom and say, hey, we want to do Monster Hunter World on Switch.
Iron Galaxy.
No, what was it? No, Panic Button came out and said that. I remember reading it.
It was Iron Galaxy.
No, it was Panic Button.
It was Iron Galaxy.
We have to go back and look on Twitter. Because I'm pretty sure Panic Button came out and said something. Iron Galaxy might have said something too. But I know Panic Button did, because I remember seeing the subtweet. They was like, we specialize in hard work.
Panic Button wanted to port Horizon Zero Dawn.
So Panic Button is calling people bluff left and right. It's like, yo, you just don't want to optimize. That's all it is.
When you type it in and John's face comes up and says Iron, you know it's right, dude.
So what did Iron Galaxy say? Type up Panic Button, because I know they commented.
Look, I just did it. Look.
Iron Galaxy. I don't have the stream.
I'll read it to you.
I'll put the stream. Hold on.
Iron Galaxy Studio CEO wants to port Monster Hunter World to Switch. You guys remember Adam Boyles?
Yeah, it was definitely Iron Galaxy.
That makes two developers then. I'm trying to tell you, Panic Button said it. I will never forget that. I would never forget that, bro.
Because when I used to do gaming news, I actually covered this story. It was Iron Galaxy. Panic Button didn't say it.
Panic Button said Horizon Zero Dawn. They said that's their dream port.
Lord, Horizon Zero Dawn, Lord have mercy.
Obviously,
keep that non-physics having game.
Obviously, they were joking, because that's never going to happen. At least not anytime soon. But yeah, that's kind of what went down. So yeah, you guys remember Adam Boyles? He's like the studio lead for that. You guys remember Adam Boyles?
Yeah,
the guy from Sony.
What about him?
He's the guy that leads the Iron Galaxy. He's like the CEO or whatever of Iron Galaxy. So it's just kind of like a nice little cool kind of thing. He's like, man, I'm tired of working for the man. I'm gonna go be the man. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own company. So that's cool. I mean, I just like to see stuff like that. It's like, hey, used to work at a big corporation, and now you're leading your own, you know, because they're, you know, Iron Galaxy's independent. So I just like seeing guys that do that, you know.
They
That's cool.
independent. Oh, so I wonder what they're doing now. They're probably working on something.
Oh yeah, they're working on something. They're definitely working on something. Actually, I know what they're working on, but I can't say nothing. But yeah, maybe I can tell you guys later.
Really? Okay, Jordan number 2.
I'm sorry. You guys will find out very soon. It's gonna be revealed probably.
I mean, I'm used to it by now. I just tell myself I don't care about leaks anymore. That's
well, just to let you guys know, for those who don't know in the chat, Iron Galaxy, they did Diablo 3 and they also did
Oh, they did Diablo 3 as well?
Yeah,
Diablo 3 ran fantastic.
Yeah, they did Diablo 3 and they did Skyrim. They're the developers of Diablo 3 and Skyrim.
That Diablo 3 ran fantastic.
It's great. Diablo 3 is great on the Switch. So
I might invest in it. I think it's used around my way.
It's $60 at Black Friday last year. It was $17 at Walmart, and I was just too lazy to go into Walmart in that Walmart during Black Friday. It was just too much, and they had hella copies, and they all sold out. I remember I went a little bit afterwards, and I was like, "You guys have any more copies of Diablo 3 on the Switch?" They're like, "Yeah, but it's not
And one last point before we move on from this NPD thing, I want to point this out that it's just Mortal Kombat 11 achieved the biggest achievement, but I also want to point out that Final Fantasy X and X2 HD Remaster did chart on the NPD strictly off of Switch sales. Off of Switch.
How do we know that it's strictly off the Switch sales?
Because the top 10 for each platform was given on Twitter by Matt from NPD. Oh. And it only charted on the Switch chart. It didn't chart on the PS4 or the Xbox One.
Okay, Barry.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send it to you on Twitter so you can show everybody.
I'm impressed with your sleuthing. That's all. Like, that's very good.
I wanted to point that out because it's the second time this happened. The first time it happened in January, which was Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. It strictly only charted on Switch sales.
Oh,
Same thing happened.
Stuff like this. Yeah. Good stuff, Baron.
So I wanted to point that out, that it ain't just Mortal Kombat 11 that people went out and bought in April.
But you know what?
Went out and bought an old Final Fantasy game.
You're speaking on something that's a little bit bigger, though, that the Switch is really an RPG machine.
It is. It definitely is.
You're really speaking. You're just hammering on the point that the Switch is an RPG machine.
It is an RPG. RPGs are going to sell on the Switch. Yep.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, Jordan, OJ, you got to show that graphic because some people don't believe it in the chat. So
Jordan, you
go ahead
good?
and show that on the screen, man. You got the chart, don't you, OJ?
The NPD chart?
Yeah,
maybe.
I can send it to you on Twitter real quick.
Yeah, you can send it to me on Twitter. Good stuff, though. But yeah, shout outs to everybody watching. Do appreciate all you guys being here. This is definitely the largest audience that we've had since without Pro Jared in the title. So thank you guys for all being here.
Without Pro Jared in the title.
Hit that like button, guys, and share the stream if you can. Let's see if we can break 300 people for the rest of the stream here.
I just sent it to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna send the PS4 and Xbox One as well, so nobody don't think I'm just making shit up.
Jordan's gone.
I think. Jordan
I couldn't hear Jordan at all.
I think Jordan needs to take the night off.
All right, so they're sent to you. But yeah, I pointed that out in my video as well. That I wanted to make sure people understood that too, is that if it's something interesting in the Switch fans, they're gonna buy it if you give them quality.
Yeah.
You know? And day and date, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition came out day and date as the other ones, and it was the one that sold the most on the Switch, which is crazy. And was Final Fantasy X2 HD Remaster, that was only on Switch, right?
No, it was on
Xbox.
And here we go again, day and date with the other ones, and it came out. And it charted for Switch.
Well,
and
the game originally came out on PS4 a couple of years ago.
It did.
Okay. Yeah, because it's called the Zodiac Age. It's not like a complete remake, but it's like they upped the textures and resolution and they added changes, and then they took that version from the PS4 with all the updates and like new enhancements, and then they enhanced it even further and put that on the Xbox One and on the Switch.
I need to get that version. I still haven't got Final Fantasy 12. I want to get it.
It's good, and it's all on one cartridge, by the way, too.
Cool. I played it on PS2, didn't beat it, so
that's good. You can technically set up the game to where it plays itself. It's pretty interesting.
So yeah, do you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, you're right, dude. Good stuff on that. That's just something that I missed. I was looking at like, oh well, it's the Xbox and it's the Switch, but no, it's actually just the Switch with the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, that's more third-party support. So if you're a third-party company and you see that, and it's repeating itself, that has to change your view.
Well, John, we already know that Final Fantasy, because he talked about, well, to be fair, Act 10 and 10-2 charted on the PS4. That's not the point. I mean, we already knew that it did okay on the PS4. We already knew that. He was talking about it charting and it particularly only being on the Switch and not included
for that month.
Yeah, for that month.
For third parties, yeah.
And considering that the PS4 has, the install base of the PS4 with, with the game like Final Fantasy, the history and legacy, the fact that it charted on the Switch only without the Xbox One is impressive because they combine sales here, right? When you see Mortal Kombat,
yeah, they combine
everything. But Baron was pointing out that, wait a minute, this isn't combined sales. This is just the Switch version, of Final Fantasy that charted. So that's what he was pointing out there, which is impressive considering the install base compared to, to the Xbox. Although it's catching up. It's catching up here in the West. It's catching up a bit. So, all right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next comment here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the donations, Matthew. Hopefully we got your question answered with the whole RE Engine thing. But to kind of just talk on that just a little, I guess, before we move on. Hopefully we see some more RE Engine stuff. But I also think that Capcom has some potential exclusives. Maybe an exclusive or two that's going to to make use.
They already said it though. They already said they did.
Yeah, but like I said, maybe
they said it was exclusive Monster Hunter games coming. So
maybe we'll see the power of what they asked Nintendo to put in there pretty soon here or something like that. So,
but yeah, they bullshitting on everything else though. Like, they really
did you call white people mayonnaise?
No.
Wow.
I did not.
Wow.
No. I said people.
What a way to come in.
I said people who potentially like mayonnaise. That's all.
What an entrance. What an entrance.
So I have no idea what's going on with the internet. I have two computers side by side. One literally is 300, Mbps, like it's fast as hell right now. The other one is like, maybe it's 70, maybe it's 60, and it just doesn't. I have reset my router 50 times. I have no idea what the problem
Who's the provider?
is. Stupid Comcast. That's all I have.
Here's your answer.
That's all
Here's your answer.
But tell me how two computers on the same band, one is extremely, even if I disconnect one, the other one doesn't pick up that signal at that speed. I don't understand computers.
With Comcast so many times, dude. I feel your pain.
So, now we had a power outage earlier, so I'm going to call them in the morning and be like, yo, send a new signal, boost my crap, because this is really pissing me off. So now I'm on a different computer. There's no camera on this one. Luckily, I put my good mic on here real quick. So I'm on it. You just can't see my face or... Yeah, I mean, that's probably a bonus.
That's okay. We got Jordan. What are you talking about? We got all the ladies all show up to see your face, so they're all leaving now. Now that you don't have your camera. Charity's leaving. She's not.
That's fine.
I was just about to say Charity too.
She literally.
I haven't even seen Charity. Charity didn't even say anything yet.
No, she was here.
She was in the beginning.
I think she left though because we were delaying too much. But yeah. All right. So I think we should. Jordan, how's you doing? Everything's okay though. You all right, man?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, that's cool. I was thinking that maybe you put your router since you didn't. I mean, like maybe your router was too far away or something. But I'm glad you got everything worked out there.
I don't have everything worked out. I'm on a different computer, which pisses me off because I want to be on the other computer.
But that's the cool thing about tech, though, man. I mean, you can have a different. That's the cool thing about being like a content creator. Right?
I don't like using my editing computer for anything else. It sucks.
Okay.
I don't want to do that.
Stop being a sissy. Stop being so.
How am I being a sissy?
You're being preppy about it. You got an extra computer. Use it, damn it.
Jordan, stop being mayo about it. All right.
Oh God, shut up.
See, now this is just racist.
I don't want that to be a tagline here, guys.
The PE podcast. Prepare for racism.
No. That is not the case, dude. That is not the case at all. It's not. I go on a podcast where
OJ, I just gotta recount all the holes you dug for yourself in the last.
There's no holes, damn it.
Yo, he dug more holes than Shia LaBeouf.
Oh man.
Hell no. No, there is none. I love everybody.
This man said, "I'm gonna take the D." This man said, "How old is Dora?" Like you had some really bad.
Yeah. So I said, "How old is the actor Dora?"
Dora looking good.
I just said Dora. I just said she's looking great in the movie. What? You guys have dirty minds. What?
Then he calling white people mayo.
I didn't do that either.
had a hell of a month, bro. Oh,
You guys are. I'm being misunderstood in my pursuit of comedy. I'm being misunderstood.
If you're being if it's happening this frequent, I think that's a different problem you need to look at.
Another one. 18 is legal.
Look, let me just say something. I better not just say something. Let's move on to the next topic here. Anytime I just say, let me just say something, or when I try to respond to something, it just gets worse. So
it does get worse. You just dig a bigger hole.
No, you guys are out there waiting to push me in. Like, say you think I'm digging a hole. This man Baron will You'll kick me faster. I'll be like, all right, let's just move on, and you will do your best to freaking kick me into the hole.
We be trying to pull you out the hole, and you just, you pull one of those moves off the movies. You start chopping at our hands. Let me fall.
I don't think we should be talking about OJ and his whole obsession, but we should move on.
I don't know. Look, listen, guys. Listen.
What was the other one? It was the vitamin D Flintstone vitamin.
Oh man,
the only ones that matter.
Y'all even see that y'all be setting me up too, because you said, "Oh, which one you guys?" Baron was like, "Which one you like? You like the soft, or you like the?" That's what I'm saying. Like, you be trying to kick people into the hole, though. You be saying stuff on purpose. And we clearly talking about something. You say like, "Oh, what'd you say? Oh."
Listen, OJ, you gotta get your pause game. Like, first of all, pause. That's how you gotta do that.
Okay.
OJ just be talking right with. Oh, I like the hard ones. Okay.
As soon as I said that, you're just soft for the hard one. Like, first of all, pause. Second of all, no, I'm not gonna answer that.
You said the same thing though, Baron, and it was okay. All right. Let's see here. Banned from Twitch. Yeah, I know. Seriously. IC Boy says, "I'm gonna take the D." Hey man. Hey, look.
Pause.
All right.
Hey, you guys want to do whatever? That's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. Is he telling OJ he would? What's going on here?
I don't know. Whatever way people swing, that's fine by me. I'm not.
I was choked just now. Oh, man.
I'm not worried about that personally.
This is a great gaming podcast.
No, I'm not worried about that personally. You guys can, any way you guys roll, that's cool. As long as you guys hear The Rock talk about video games, come to Player Essence, let's go. It's cool.
And you rolling with it,
Shut up, Baron. Yeah, you're stupid. I'm rolling with the times in terms of anybody can be how they want to be. Yeah, I'm rolling with that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking.
No, bastard, shut the hell up. All right, let's move on. No, screw you. See, look at that. See what I'm talking about? See what I got to deal with? See what I got to deal with? With Baron? Mm-hmm. But if I kick Baron off this podcast, nobody's going to show up anymore. So I can't do it. I'm stuck. Is everybody here to watch Baron rant about stuff?
So and to watch you take the D.
Hey man, they here to watch you, go off like this too. This is hilarious.
Care how hilarious it is. You guys all suck. Screw all you guys. Anyway, moving on to the next topic. Sony says console gaming is niche. That's what Sony said. Sony's president, his name is Kenichiro Yoshida, recently spoke with investors, and he said that, quote, "As we speak, we provide, as I said, the immersive business and experience is something we would like to continue to place importance on," Yoshida continued. "If you look at the game industry as a whole, the console market is not a major market. Rather, it's a niche market, if you will, or niche market, if you will. But for core gamers, immersive experiences are something we would like to value. In this respect, for the time being, the console as something that brings about computing functionality to the users is very important. But on the other hand, technology will progress, and so as I said today, the Remote Play and PlayStation Now, the streaming services will be worked on in parallel. That is what we are doing at this moment." And this was basically talk about the partnership between them. This was a kind of a quote from there that some people caught on to, some people didn't. So basically what he's saying is like, hey, you hardcore gamers out there, that is niche. That is not big. In order for us to expand this baby, we need to see it like Netflix. We need to see it like Amazon. We need to see we need to start getting some of this streaming service money, because way more people, because Amazon makes way more money with their streaming services than what PlayStation PSN probably makes, right? I'm pretty sure Amazon and Netflix make a lot more money in terms of pure revenue because they don't have any hardware to support. It's just streaming. It's just online. I mean, they got servers and stuff, but that's it. That's not as much. That's not as expensive as actually shipping out consoles like a PS4 and all that stuff like that. So basically, what he's trying to say here, what it seems like to me, and we'll get you guys' opinions. He's just trying to say, look, the future is streaming. That's really where we can grow this thing. What we're seeing, like 100 million systems, and what we do on PSN, while that's good, it's niche in the grand scheme of things. And maybe I agree with that, maybe not. I'm not really sure. But I guess if you're comparing, I mean, obviously he's a CEO of Sony. You're not thinking on the same level as me or you as a consumer. We don't have that type of money that he's got. So I guess he's thinking on looking at Amazon and what Amazon makes on their streaming services and what they do. I think he's looking at that and saying, man, we didn't make nothing compared to these guys. Maybe that's what he's thinking about on this. So let me go ahead and let me go to Jordan. Jordan, what's your thoughts on what the Sony CEO had to say?
What's his name again? Kenny Cheeto?
Kenichiro Yoshida.
Kenny Cheeto.
Kenny Cheeto. I mean, in a way, he's like, the future is that, sure. You know, like, I get what he's saying, but to call it a niche, I don't agree with. I mean, I really don't have much to say on it. I just think it's kind of one of those comments that they throw out there that the general public is just going to be like, oh, that's kind of a stupid thing to say, like the people who play the console. Like, I mean, how many PS4s are sold?
Going towards 100 million.
Yeah, exactly. So very niche. Only 100 million people have the PS4.
How many people have I like the new iPhones or whatever, you know, or like is it comparable, or that sells way more, right?
I mean, yeah, but everyone kind of needs a cell phone in life nowadays compared to you don't need a console.
Maybe that's what he's talking. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Compared to the other consoles on the market,
but he's not doing that. He's obviously not doing that. He's been.
I mean, you have the number one. Your console's not a niche. I mean, if you want to be like, yeah, the Switch was niche. Like the Wii U was niche. How would take that? The Wii U was niche because it didn't do that great. That's a statement that is more factual.
He's talking about his business, though.
Yeah, but that's wrong. I mean, maybe the computers, the Vios, the Sony Vios were a niche because those were crappy. But I have nothing to add to this. I just think it's it's one of those jargon comments.
I have a few words on it.
How many?
Go ahead.
No, how many words? Said a few. How many?
3. 3 on the dot, baby. Let's hear it.
More than a few. I think it's just a poor choice of words. When I took some time to really think about what he said. It like at first, I'm like, that sounds ridiculous. Like water's wet. Like, come on, stop. Like you're saying something that's niche in a sense. You know, it's for a specific demographic. Yeah, console gamers, niche market. That's in that perspective, I could get that. But when you really think about it, when you think of mobile gamers, online gamers, PC gamers, where you just think about where gaming is going and not so much where it is, not so much where it was, I can see where he's coming from, because we look at it, the PS4 is almost 100 million units sold, but this was released in 2013. So it released at a different time. So it's like when you look at the PS5, is the PS5 going to have that same momentum? Is the PS5, especially look at the success of the Switch, is the PS5, is the Xbox 2 or whatever it's going to be called, are these consoles going to have the same success as their predecessors? And that's something to really consider, especially with the market of the Switch. So that's why I feel his statement is poorly worded, but in context to what he's talking about, I can see what he's saying.
Yeah, I can also see that as well. But Baron, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts. I think he's a blazing buffoon for saying that. It's like Jordan said, 100 million ain't niche. I don't care how many people in the world there is. What is it, like 6 billion, 5, 6, 7 billion?
We're nearing 8 billion.
Yeah, near a billion. And guess what?
But that's less than 1% though. If you think about 100 million, that's still less than 1%.
But here's the fun factor that people don't want to talk about when they bring up that number. All those people are not going to play games. It's just that simple. Only the people that are interested in games are going to play games.
And that's why you say it's
just
and that's why it's niche.
But
that's why it's niche. That's why water's wet. That's why it says an obvious statement.
But the thing about it is that not everybody thinks it's water's wet. Like everybody sat there, or like not everybody, but a lot of people came out and said, "What the heck? No, you're stupid. You're dumb, stupid Sony CEO." But I'm looking at how many iPhone devices have been sold since 2013.
But that doesn't guarantee that if they put that content there, that everybody that has an iPhone is going to use that streaming service or play a game. That's not what that means.
But that's what
a lot of people are just not interested in that. Some people
but that's what he's saying. He's saying that there's just not enough people for this to be. They had to. You know how many things had to go right for them to sell nearly one? They're not at 100 million yet. You know how many things had to go right? Nintendo had to freaking completely blunder everything.
And Xbox and Nintendo
had to completely blunder everything. Their own PS Vita had to fail. The 3DS got off to a slow start and was still recovering. Even it was still getting back to it. Everything fell into place. Everything was perfect for the PS4, and it still only sold almost 100 million. Yet having the perfect environment, every third-party game. The most amazing, well, not the most amazing, but great first-party games. Some people will say that they're the best. Whatever. Arguably the best, right? Arguably, it had everything fall into place, and they couldn't even touch near where PS2 went. It's not going to reach PS2 levels. Obviously, it's not going to.
And that's the thing. Is like people, you got to understand why the PS1 and the PS2 sold the way it did. Everybody would go back and reminisce about all the great games on PS2 and PS1, but that ain't the reason why that PS1 and PS2 got to those numbers. We know damn well it was because of that damn CD and that DVD. We know that's why
it's all because Sony's success is because Nintendo messed up. That's Sony's life story. We win because Nintendo messes up.
But that's taking advantage
PS2 was an easy DVD player for people. A lot of people just bought it for that specific reason. They might have hopped on Grand Theft Auto. They might have played a little bit of Madden. Might have played a little bit of NBA Street. That's about it. The same thing with the PS1. That thing being basically a CD player. I know that's the reason my brother bought one before I got one, because it played CDs. And it's like you got to that point off of the little technical things that you put into the system. It wasn't because the actual software helped once people had it and people software. But that's why I said the PS4, it was just a lucky strike. It really was. It was just a lucky home run, pretty much. They just swung the bat and they hit. That's pretty much what happened, because everything, like you said, Microsoft just shit the bed. Nintendo messed up with the Wii U. Everything was just in their favor for the PS4 to happen. So, I mean, let's not, and people will argue me to death about these two situations, about why the PS1 sold the way it did and why the PS2 sold the way it did. Yes, it had those outstanding pieces of software on it, but that is not the initial reason why it got people to go to the store and buy the damn system. That's not what they bought it for. But once they got it and they seen all these great games on it, people started buying into these games. So that's the reason why. That's why I said what happened with the PS4. It's because Nintendo messed up, Microsoft messed up, and then Microsoft messed up on the third-party front. So Sony came in and swooped in this exclusive.
So you can see what he's saying, right? If you know this, you know he knows this. If you know this, he knows this, and he's like, "Damn, everything worked out for us, and we didn't even sell 100 million."
I got you, but here's the thing.
Or we're about to sell 100 million.
Well, here's the thing. There's no guarantee. This is why I think this is so crazy. There's no guarantee this streaming stuff is going to take off and be a hit. But they're moving that way simply because they're threatened by the companies that's going behind the streaming, like Google, like a Netflix, like Amazon. They're threatened by those companies. That's why they're all jumping so quickly to it. But like we said, we see what the Switch is doing. It's all about people just want it to be basically a mobile type of thing where they can take them anywhere they can go. And I'm pretty sure people will love to own their shit over streaming it. I'm taking that to the bank. I don't think that's going to change. I don't really think that's going to change. You might get the people that play Candy Crush on the mobile devices to buy into that streaming only shit. But as far as regular traditional gamers and the games that you're trying to push on these streaming services, it's going to have to be physical, and that's why I think I think he said that because he pretty much basically laying out the map that they're pretty much going to put their games on every device at this point. Is another quote that he said or something. He said the future of PlayStation. What he said, it was something during that same meeting. He said they wanted to make sure they maximize their content if you have with or without the console. So when they said that, I said, man, this might end up being just like Project X Cloud. Well, we might end up seeing Sony games on the Nintendo platform.
Can we get a clarification here? Because some people are talking about, well, wait a minute, digital versus streaming. Some people say, wait a minute, digital. People like digital. Are you talking about digital too, or are you just talking about?
No, I'm just talking about streaming. I'm talking about streaming.
Okay, so keep that in mind, guys.
I'm talking about just streaming. That's what Stadia is. This is why all this is happening, because Google and the Stadia stuff. I'm talking about actual streaming the game.
Streaming, yeah.
You have absolutely no ownership of it whatsoever, and you have to be to an internet connection. I just don't see it happening. The most dominant form of sales right now, software, is still physical. So I don't think that's magically going to change when November comes around, or it's magically going to change a year from now. It's not happening. So I love this overreaction they're doing. I think it's hilarious because I think Nintendo seeing that, yes, your game we have to be able to have people to play their games anywhere they go. All right, we make a hybrid console, we fix the problem. And their way of fixing the problem is like, hey, let's just stream the game to them. I was like, okay, we'll see which form will win. And I guarantee you people are not giving up their physical ownership that easy. It's not happening.
I don't see
That's
it.
how I feel about it. I don't see it happening.
Look, the problem that I have with this is like, I think at the end of the day, he's looking at it like, we can get these people who are really lazy with digital, you know what I'm saying? And that already do digital, we can get them because, man, these download times take a while, right? We cap people's internet, we cap download speeds, so obviously our network doesn't crash, but like we can get people to switch over. People who predominantly play digital, we can get them to swap to streaming. And that's even going to be more money for us because now we don't even have to put it out, like it just streams. We don't even have to put it out there for them to download and all that and have the space. We just do streaming. So I think that's what their plan is. Their plan is to get these people who just do all digital, which there was a time where we had this argument digital versus physical, right? And now it's kind of moving towards, well, wait a minute. Now we have even something worse, like something even worse than digital.
That's the thing.
Now it's streaming, you know?
And that's the thing. It's like digital finally caught its footing. Digital is still being outsold by physical sales across the board, but it finally got its footing, and now you're trying to push another thing on people. It's like, okay, now you're going to mess yourself up now. Because now you finally got people to buy into digital, and to the point where digital is now starting to make you some money and it's starting to make a little dent, but it didn't overtake physical sales. So I don't know why people think streaming is going to do that. It's not. It's the worst form of playing a video game.
Yeah, I don't even like streaming. I don't even like streaming in my own house. Like, have you guys ever done what was it? What's Steambox? Have you guys tried Steambox before?
Nope.
That's even trash. And that's local network streaming. And that's even like, damn, this sucks. And that's literally within the same local network. You know, you're using the internet, but it's like right there. It's connected though. It's like LAN, you know, or whatever. Oh, well, it's wireless. Mine's wireless. But I've even done tried to do Steambox to my living room TV. And even that was like a little bit kind of like, I mean, it played smooth because it was right there, but it still was kind of a little bit like the textures weren't as good. Like it was a little bit blurry. And I'm like, we in this, like, I'm not down for this. And I'm using the best streaming equipment, whatever the case. I got a Netgear, the nice Nighthawk router. I got everything set up. You know?
To get that stuff.
Yeah, Nighthawk router is dope, by the way. It's really good. But I got everything set up for it to be dope. You know what I'm saying? And that still wasn't even good. So now you're talking about not even something to be as good as that. This is worse. But to me, it seems like you can get these lazy people, and they want to. It's profit margins. That's the biggest thing. It's like, okay, well, yeah, like you can do physical. Maybe 15 people buy it physical, but if we even get 4 people to do all digital or 4 people to do all streaming, we can make the same profit as like 10 or 12 people buying physical. So it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think that they're trying to do.
Yeah, but here's the thing: people have to want to do it that way. And I think this is what's going to be a rude awakening for them when they start doing this. That I know I'm not going to want to play stuff like Madden, Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat 11 over streaming only. It's not happening. I don't want to do that.
It's
I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
Steam Link, guys. Sorry about that. Did I say Steam Box? I meant Steam Link.
You said Steam Box, but yeah, I got you.
Steam Link. Sorry about that, guys. Steam Link. Steam Box. That's just a console. It's a PC in a box, like an Xbox or whatever from like PCs. But anyway, I meant Steam Link. It's a little black box that you use to transfer whatever your main PC stuff is over to like any other TV. Yeah, it sucks. I hate it. Anyway, go ahead, Bear.
But yeah, that was just it. I think it was the most boneheaded thing he said. I was like, well, great way to upset your fan base because they're the most toxic, loyal, on their knees type of fans there is. So you really turned their world upside down. That's for damn sure. So we'll see what happens.
To go off what we were just saying, it's like the idea of streaming, it concerns me because you can have games like fighting games, like having lag on Smash Brothers is annoying enough. So, and having lag on Apex Legends is annoying. So when you have it all streaming, it's not going to be good because not everyone's going to have a good connection. That's just the truth about it. Like you got people with their McDonald's Wi-Fi, you got people who steal their neighbor's Wi-Fi, and trust me, I've seen it all. And it's not gonna be the best thing in the world. Trust me, it's not gonna last well. At least I don't think so.
Nah, I think it's gonna crash and burn. I think it's good that they could deliver an option. It's not that they're going full streaming. Streaming is going to be an option. Their option is going to be still Blu-ray, digital, and streaming. Same thing with Microsoft. You're still going to get the physical, digital, and then streaming. But they're going to push hard for it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I know what's going to happen. But all I know is that Nintendo's in a good spot.
Yeah. So they're in the best spot, honestly.
In the good damn spot.
Some people brought up data caps and all that. And I mean, obviously, this is not for people who have internet limitations, which most of the world does, by the way. Like, most people have crappy internet. Let me just say that right now. Like, most people have not good internet for gaming. Most people have not good internet for online games because most parents aren't going to sit there and spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars to get top tier internet. You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting that peach internet. They getting that, Little Mac type tier list internet.
Really? Here we go.
They getting that Little Mac / Kirby Abaddon characters.
Word. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
They getting that low tier. They getting that low tier internet. You know what I'm saying? Not Abaddon. Not saying that Abaddon has low tier internet. I'm saying that Abaddon's internet is superior to the characters that he picks in Smash Bros.
CV and Ultimate, dude. CV and Ultimate.
He said, "Damn, he just called you out, bro."
No. I'm just messing around because Abaddon be picking the most trash characters in Smash Bros.
And you know what? Listen. And I be seeing you guys.
Abaddon be picking the worst. He's like, who's the worst character in the game? Kirby? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go with Kirby. Huh?
Listen, I've been using Kirby like you've been using Sheep, dog.
Who else is bad? Little Mac. Oh, okay, let's go with Little Mac. Let's also pick him as a main too. Okay.
First of all, you're not gonna act like we're not gonna acknowledge that I don't use Corrin.
Do you use Corrin? I've never played against you, Corrin.
I use Corrin. I use Roy as well.
Oh, okay. I
haven't
played against
him. I like Roy a lot.
Corrin's not very good either. Just let you.
Hey, listen. I like using characters that I like using, and Kirby's fun to use.
Okay, no, that's what matters. That's what matters. Hentai Lover says something funny. He says Baron seems like he's the kind of guy who steals his neighbor's Wi-Fi, but he does not seem like the guy who dislikes Mayo. Also, personally, I believe streaming. Oh, God, he kind of low-key roasted you there. And personally, I believe streaming sucks and should not be a part of the typical gamer's lifestyle. Physical is S plus tier. Streaming is F minus tier. Well,
exactly. Thank you for that comment. I agree with that fully.
Everything that he said.
Everything.
No, not everything. Because I got superior internet, so I ain't worried about that. And like I said, I like them in all flavors. So
me too. Everybody does. Most people do, except for if you're on Twitter, probably not. All right, so let's go ahead and
Overwatch.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. And that is
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
no, it's PS. Isn't it like PS5?
I thought we just talked about this.
Or
Was
no,
that-
We
you
kind
know,
of
we should have Okay, I messed up. We should have factored in the PS5 specs into. What
Oh
we were
yeah,
just
we could
talking
go
about.
into that and then go into Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, we can talk about this real quick. Because it's kind of like old news, but it's kind of like not. So Sony did another investors brief, or at an investors briefing, or something. It was like something. They were showing off the advantages of the PS5. And here's what they said. I think they said this. Yeah, this article was posted on May 23rd. So yeah, this was something somewhat new. And what they're doing for next gen. They said that they have an all-new CPU and GPU. They said that they have a SSD for faster loading. And they've been showing off that, like, the loading is way quicker. Backwards compatibility. They have ray tracing, which is a graphical technique, I guess you can call it.
Watch out now.
They have 8K. They didn't say native. They just said 8K. So probably checkerboard or some type of new uprising or something like that. They also said disc support. So, yeah, you're going to be able to use physical games. Or they're going to have physical games. And 3D audio. Which I'm not an audiophile, so I don't know what that means. Maybe Avedon knows, but I don't know.
With 3D, you said 3D audio?
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
It's not important to you.
Okay. Well, there you go. What they have not spoken about yet is date, release date, price, games, user experience, and country rollout. This was like a slide that they had that they were showing off. When it comes to an investor port. So
wait, the Raptors won?
Yes, I was watching. I was trying to keep up with it.
If the Raptors win, they're going to get smoked by the Golden State Warriors. By the way,
what? Milwaukee was going to get walloped by the Warriors.
No, they weren't because they match up better. They match up better.
No, they don't.
It's only Kawhi on the Raptors.
No, it's not only Kawhi.
It is only Kawhi.
Gasol finally got his footing. Ibaka is doing his thing.
Okay, we're not going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about this.
You're not going to diss Gasol. You could talk trash about Kyle Lowry, garbage ass.
Kyle Lowry's garbage. Yeah, he is kind of. He plays like a little. He plays like me once he gets into the playoffs. He plays like me, as if I was there. I feel like I'm Kyle Lowry playing out there. Like he plays, but the regular season he's great. I told you guys nobody wants to chase his little butt around. Nobody wants to chase him around during the regular season, but during the playoffs, they're like, okay, let me lock down on this little guy, you know? But anyway, Kawhi scored another 35 points, by the way, carrying the team. Nobody else scored any. Oh, no, they had a couple guys score, but still. Anyway, moving on.
Exactly,
shut up.
What are your thoughts on, if you guys all just want to talk, but whoever wants to talk first, what are your thoughts on PlayStation 5 so far in terms of the specs?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I'll go last.
The biggest thing I would say are the loading times with that SSD. That is probably the most impressive thing on the PS5 for me, at least. I don't know if you guys saw it, but they did a side-by-side comparison of Spider-Man loading times on PS4 and PS5. PS4 Pro and PS5, and literally in less than a second, it was done loading. So versus 8 seconds on the PS4.
How much do you think? How much memory of like the fast? Like they can't put a lot of that in there. How much do you think is going to be in there? Do you guys have any idea? Like, how much do you guys think they're actually going to include? I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be 128 max.
I was thinking between 128 if they work some type of magic. 256 drops.
Yeah, 250. Okay, yeah, 256 is getting cheaper. So yeah, by the time
256. But I would say I was thinking around the same about 128, which isn't bad at all for a console.
You'll be able to download God of War, and that'll be it. Because God of War, you'll be able to download one God of War, one Horizon.
What they'll probably do? They'll probably have a SSD and an HDD as well.
Yeah, they're gonna have both, and they're gonna let you swap between the two. Like, hey, you want to swap out and maybe put this one on the SS or the SD the solid state.
The solid state will probably be what they'll probably allow you to do is you could download like your storage files and everything and have it on the hard drive, and then you can actually run the game itself on the solid state. So, which would be pretty dope. I'm interested in seeing how it's going to work, and what will be really dope if they allow you to. And somehow you could, mod it if you have your own terabyte solid state, and you could attach it onto the PS5. That would be that'll be next level. They could allow you to do that.
They did that with the PS3.
Yeah,
Not a solid, I don't think you could do a solid state, but you could do.
No, they did it with HD. They did it with hard drives.
Yeah, hard drives. Yeah.
If they could allow you to do it solid state, that'll be next level.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. You guys have any other thoughts on this, Baron or Jordan?
Nope.
Nope.
PlayStation 5 is running fast.
There you go.
Well,
But don't forget, it's niche. It's very niche, though.
It's very niche.
I got one thing to say.
It's super.
Well, say it.
Who gives a damn? That's what I gotta say. You know what I mean? I'm like, is it really that much of a need from 8 seconds to 1 second? It's like, really?
I mean, it will make a difference when you're sitting there between stuff going.
Watch out now! Like, really, you can't wait 8 seconds. Oh
yes,
my god!
You must wait once. I want 1 second loading.
That is just ridiculous. I can understand like load times back in the PS1 days and how they came to now. Those were glorious.
You be generous. Even the PS3 days had long load times.
Even some of the PS4 days got long loading times. Like one time I made a sandwich between I forgot what game it was, but I remember making a sandwich in between one of the loading times. I went and made a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
One of the Tekken games had horrible loading times. I think it was on PS3, right?
Like, oh man, them PS1 loading times, I could fire up the grill some hot dogs, hamburgers, and make some potato salad before that game load. It's like we ain't
How'd
in
you
no
make your potato salad?
Wait,
with a lot of mayo.
You make potato salad?
With a lot of mayo.
Don't do it.
No, I don't make my potato salad with I make it with the let's just go.
You don't make your potato salad with mayo?
I want another recipe.
Oh my god, really, OJ?
I'm looking for potato salad recipes. Let me hear yours.
You don't make your potato salad with mayo.
No, I don't want to say.
How many potatoes do you put in your salad?
I don't put anything.
Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question.
I don't put anything. I don't put anything in anything. I don't eat it.
Mustard
Actually, you know what? I don't eat anything at all. I just drink water.
That's a lot of water then.
Oh man, just got quiet.
Yeah, it did. OJ not trying to dig a hole, so he said, "Let me be quiet." Oh man!
Right, let's go ahead and move on to. I had to time VC out for putting garbage in the chat.
What did he say?
I didn't even see what he stupid, so I had to time him out. I had to time him out for 300 seconds.
Let me see what he said. Oh, I think he was just playing with you.
I don't care. We gotta time that out. We gotta time that out. If you're a mod, you can't be saying stuff like that.
Is he that wrong?
Yeah, he's wrong.
I
Hey man, mustard and potato salad, it goes good together.
Whoa! Who you calling mustard?
No, people in the chat are
who you calling mustard? Who you calling mustard, Baron? Huh?
I'm talking about the people in the chat asking about mustard.
What? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Are you? Huh?
Are you sure about taking that D? You sure about that?
Oh man.
Hey, wait! I just got quick. What in orange juice? What vitamin do you get in orange juice?
I don't know. What do you get?
Is it vitamin C or is it vitamin D? I'm not 100% sure.
No,
I don't know.
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C. It's
pretty sure it's vitamin C, and I think you know that. Bastard.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, what does the C stand for?
I don't know, citrus, bro.
Vitamin citrus.
I don't know what it is. I don't remember, bro.
Wow, I drink this citrus to get my vitamin citrus.
Oh, remember they taught us this stuff in school? I forgot. I don't use
citrus.
I don't remember what it stands for. Calcium?
Oh my god.
Wait, what class were they teaching you about vitamin C?
Well, they teach you that in because I did kinesiology.
Calcium.
I did kinesiology in college, so they taught us what all the different vitamins, what they mean, and what it is, and all that stuff. I don't remember all that stuff.
Oh my god, this man.
So what's vitamin? What's vitamin A?
Don't answer the question if you don't know it.
I don't know.
I'm trying to save you.
What's vitamin B?
Calcium.
I don't know. Dude. I think you know more about that, right?
What's vitamin C, D, E, F? Like you know all the vitamins. You said you learned it.
Dude, college was like 10 years ago for me now. You know, at this point,
Yeah, but
I'm old.
I think
Here you go.
OJ's 45, you guys. Remember that?
Here you go. This 45.
so. Wait,
boy.
if you're 45, wouldn't college be like I don't know, 20 years ago?
No,
Roughly?
I was a late. I decided to go really late.
Oh, you took some years off to travel abroad.
No, I just decided to go really
Did
late.
you travel abroad or study abroad?
No, I just decided to go late. There's a lot of people that are in their 30s and in their late 20s when they decide to go to college. You know, that's
Go to
just,
the
Nah,
workforce.
at that point, just go to the workforce.
nah, man. I had to go back to school.
At that point, what's the point?
I had to
Unless
go-
you're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer,
had to
just
go-
get to working.
I had to go back just so I can get my degree. I wanted to make my parents proud, and so I went and get back and got
Finish
my
out.
degree, and came back. And after that, and did not use my degree at all. So I mean, right now, I'm not using my degree.
Wow.
So it's good.
Oh, you
I'm
really
not
made
using
him
mine
proud.
either.
Making them proud.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Got a brand new gameplay footage,
Yeah.
Wow.
and
I didn't see it
VC
yet.
was calling you brain dead. By the way, Barrett, I just want to point that to your attention
Brain dead about what?
for calling Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 a Game of the Year hopeful, essentially.
What? What BCS so I can slap the shit out of him?
Hey. Boy.
So yeah,
I'm
no.
gonna stop this Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 disrespect. I mean, this game looks phenomenal.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 got a new trailer. They confirmed some new X-Men in the game. We're gonna have Psylocke. That's gonna be in the game. She looks nice. Then we're also gonna have Nightcrawler, who's one of my favorite X-Men. Growing up as a kid, I loved Nightcrawler because he was just like he teleported. He was just cool. And
Who
then,
else?
And then there is Magneto. Looks like he's gonna be playable in the game.
Wow.
It seems like Beast is gonna be playable, but it seems like Beast.
I didn't see
Yay,
the trailer
more
yet.
blue characters.
Is Gambit going to be in the game?
They haven't showed Gambit yet. They showed a picture. I actually did a video on this where I talked about some like the analysis of the trailer. They showed a picture and they showed Cyclops in the picture. They showed Professor X in the picture, and they also showed Colossus in the picture.
What?
No.
So it looks like those three characters might be playable as well because it showed like the Academy. It's like, wait a minute, why do you have like if you're talking about I remember like the show like on Fox, it was like Gambit was part of like that original like people that are there, the main characters. So Gambit wasn't in that picture, but Cyclops, Colossus, and the other character that I said was so. So yeah, what do you guys think so far? Did you guys see the new trailer for Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah,
I haven't. I'll do a reaction to it after the podcast.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it yet, but I heard about the X-Men on Twitter.
Oh man,
But hearing you got Nightcrawler, that's gonna be a good pick. You got Nightcrawler, Nightcrawler, you got Beast, Magneto. Those are good picks. Psylocke, those are good picks. So.
Well, it was just Cyclops, and like I said, they haven't confirmed that yet because they didn't show them playable. They didn't show Beast playable either. Basically, what happened one of the things that happened is like Wolverine like hit Beast out of the way, like so he wouldn't get hit with something. So it seems like either he's like a story character or he's actually in there. But they showed like at the end, they showed Magneto teaming up, or saying like, hey, we're gonna have some alliance or something. So. But yeah, the trailer is dope. Like it shows what it really showcases. It showcases Psylocke and it showcases Nightcrawler, their combat. So
I wonder if they're bringing back. I wonder if they're bringing back Ghost Rider from the first one.
I think he's in. Is Ghost Rider? I'm not.
No, they didn't confirm him yet, but they made a subtle reference to him. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The game looks freaking awesome.
I'm looking forward to it because the action looks good. The production value looks through the roof. I mean, they have all the voice actors that people already know them for. So they didn't cut any corners with this game. Like, I didn't really expect them to cut any corners because Nintendo's publishing it. So, and it's like, man, every time we see this game, it looks better and better. So I don't understand how people.
This is gonna be a day one for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's already a day one for a lot of people, especially me. So I don't see how many people. It's only a handful of people that actually was going crazy saying, like, how can you say that's a game of the year contender? Well, that's not crazy saying it can be a contender.
Because it's the
I
graphics.
think
It's the graphics. That's the reason why.
there's nothing wrong with the graphics. That's what
The,
blows my mind. With
the
people.
graphics
It's like,
aren't compared to what else is on the system. And this is how X-Men Legends. This is how Marvel Ultimate. It's always been like that. Compare Marvel Ultimate Alliance on the PS2, the GameCube. Compare that to Resident Evil 4. Not even close. Compare Gears of War to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. It's not even close. Compare any of this. Like, you can compare the best looking games, or even some of the best looking games on any system that it's been on, and it's never been that, because it's about having 4 people on one console, 60 frames per second, no drops, you know?
But the thing is, the graphics are good. They're not bad. The only thing that looks just a little bit, just solid is the environments. The environments are not, overly expressive and overly detailed. I think that's the only thing that's really kind of messing with some people. It's just the environments. Everything else looks phenomenal. The superpowers look phenomenal. The character models look phenomenal. Everything looks phenomenal, and it runs smoothly. It's like, I don't get what people.
Wait, how does it look?
And it looks like phenomenal.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
I don't know if people are more excited for Astral Chain than Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I think the hype is getting near.
I think the hype is equal now.
I think it's about. To be honest, I think it's getting more equal.
Yeah, and I just want to throw out there that let's just not make it all graphics alone, because a Game of the Year contender was also Octopath Traveler. Like, Octopath Traveler was up there, so it's anything goes at this point when it comes to video games.
Yeah, and the thing is, we shouldn't even be talking about graphics. The graphics of that game is not bad whatsoever. The graphics of the game looks damn good.
They're just compared to like Breath of the Wild, compared to Astral Chain, compared to the other games that are that's what people are comparing it to.
Yeah, and I think they're looking at that because the environments are a little bit more detailed in those games. The environments in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 ain't as detailed as in those games. They're pretty much just straightforward environments. That's pretty much what's probably throwing people off. If y'all just go look at the game and like the environments, the environments are really not overly expressive when it comes to like the art style, but everything else looks phenomenal. So I think that's what really matters.
R. Hobbs has a good point. He says Celeste was nominated and the game looks like trash. So hey, he's right about that. He's right about that. Go ahead.
No, and the reasons I also say Game of the Year contender is because have people forgotten, like, y'all called Spider-Man a Game of the Year contender last year, so I'm pretty sure this game is going to have a lot more content and a lot more replay value than Spider-Man on PS4. I'm pretty sure about that. So
I don't know, but you can go and hunt down and catch pigeons in Spider-Man on PS4. I mean,
so I expect this game to really rate pretty high. The way Nintendo is pushing this game, Nintendo's not going to push anything if it's not quality.
Yeah,
and they've been pushing the hell out of this game and Astral Chain. So I'm all in on it now. I'm believing it because every time we see this game, it looks better and better and better. And I think they're trying to hold out, not showing you too much until E3. I think E3 is going to blow the whole doors off it. And it's online and it's 4-player co-op, four-player online co-op. It's like
4 players on one system too. That's ultimate, like brother sister. Couch co-op, that's going to be super popular for the kids in the summer too.
Yeah, OJ Dora,
and you taking down the Black Order. You got Magneto versus the Black Order. I mean, come on, bro. This game gonna give you so many epic moments. It's going to be ridiculous. Like I see it already.
I've played and beat every single like Marvel Ultimate Alliance style game dating all the way back. So I already know what this franchise is about. Like, I love Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is trash. But all the other ones, 1 is really good. X-Men Legends is really good. Apocalypse, like they're all really good. Just Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 was Activision, they rushed it. Like oh snap, we sold, like they wanted to hurry up and get another game out, and that's the reason why that one kind of suffered. But they're all really good. They're all really good. I do want to get to Matthew Hammond's donation. It was about 10 minutes ago. Sorry about that, Matthew. And he says OJ uses salty mayo in his potato salad.
Wow.
Gross.
So there you go. Salty mayo in my potato salad. Shout out, man. Thank you for the $2 donation, Matthew, and thank you once again for the contributions tonight, man. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, any other thoughts on Marvel Ultimate Alliance, guys? I mean, I didn't hear Jordan talk too much about it. So Jordan, I think you said that you're somewhat excited for the game, right?
Yeah, no, I played a lot of the original Ultimate Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, and I'm excited for the game. I don't really need to really see much on it to be sold on it, you know? Like, I'm going to buy it regardless, so that's why I haven't really been paying attention when stuff drops or new trailers, because regardless of how, like, art style's fine, doesn't bother me. I don't need every game to be the most realistic graphics ever, and it looks fine, so I'm going to get the game, and I have nothing worried about it.
All right. Any other thoughts on Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Avedon, in terms of what you think? And like, you not even talk about like the new trailer, but just the game in general.
The game in general, it's like I said, I've been a fan of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Okay, this is a part. If you guys saw my my game collection videos, I actually own this game on the Wii because I didn't have a PS3 at the moment. So I enjoyed it on the Wii. So I'm really looking forward to playing this game with my community, playing this game online, because this game looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. So I'm excited for it all around.
It's dope, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to it. I like all the different X-Men that they're adding in. But man, if they add Gambit, that's when it's over, dude.
Gambit's my favorite is my favorite X-Men character.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And at the end of the trailer, they confirmed Deadpool. Finally, officially confirmed.
Oh, word?
Yeah, Deadpool. Yeah. Well, Deadpool's on the cover of the game. Isn't he on the cover?
No.
I didn't see him on the cover, but I know he leaked earlier, but they finally confirmed him at the end.
I did not see him on the cover. Oh, wait, no, he is on the cover. I see him on the side. Yeah, he's on the cover. I didn't. Okay.
Is he voiced by Ryan Reynolds?
I don't know. It's kind of sounding like Ryan Reynolds a little bit, but it might not be him.
They're using imposters. They're not using, like, it's not Samuel L. Jackson that's Nick Fury.
What? Nah, he sounds close to.
He sounds very close, but it's not actually him.
Are you telling me that it's not Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man?
Yeah.
No.
It is not Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa.
No. We haven't even heard of Black Panther speak.
Dude, if they actually got the real voice actors, this game's budget would be like so high, dude.
Very high.
Yeah, on the cover of the game, I'll show you guys the cover. So yeah, Deadpool's been confirmed for a while because Deadpool's right over here, the bottom left hand.
Yeah, corner. That's right. I just saw him.
We only seen him on that. We just never seen him in any trailer, so it was weird.
Yeah, well, to see him take that, he took a selfie with the taco, so it was funny. So yeah, he's
tacos are so hilarious in 2019, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm wondering because they show Venom on here too.
Venom is playable though.
Yeah, Venom's a boss though. At first, so then maybe you beat him and then you get to recruit him.
You must didn't see it. If nobody didn't see it, go to Game Informer and watch their gameplay video on Venom.
Yeah, he's a boss though. They didn't show him as a playable character.
Yeah, they showed him as a boss battle.
Yeah. So you get obviously. I mean, you get to use him too because he's.
Yeah, they said it would be playable.
Okay, yeah. So he's playable. I also like Miles Morales is playable. That's freaking awesome. That's really cool. Spider-Gwen's playable. You got Thor. You got the.
What about the Spider Pig from Into the
No Spider Pig yet. No Spider Pig yet. But what's it called? Storm's looking like the waifu. I always use Storm, so Storm's looking like a waifu in the game. So I'm definitely.
Storm's so basic.
Dang.
Storm's basic. She's always like the one looked at like, oh, she's so important. But like every X-Men movie, they just after Halle Berry, they just shafted Storm and didn't care about her. If it was Halle Berry in the game, that'd be amazing. But it's not.
It's not.
She's an Omega level mutant, dog.
Hey, if you want to see good Halle Berry, go see John Wick 3. She's fantastic in that.
I need to go see that movie.
Dude, it is incredible. Yeah.
Doctor Strange is in there. Daredevil's cool. The fact they have Daredevil in there, that's awesome.
And at the end of that trailer too, they gave you like a fast, template of all of characters you've never seen before, and Doctor Strange was one of them. I was like, he looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, we got the in-game model, but yeah, Doctor Strange is in there. Hulk, Ms. Marvel's in there. Of course, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Man, all the Black Panther. I first people said, "Oh, Black Panther's in the game." I remember they were talking about that. I was like, "Is Black Panther in the game?" They're like, "Yeah, Black Panther's." I was like, "Oh snap!" I just like it slipped my mind. But yeah, Black Panther's in the game, so that's dope too. This is gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, this game is gonna be dope. I mean, that online, man, it's hard. It's crazy to say this, but Probably the most popular online games this summer is going to be both Switch games.
What else is coming out this summer though?
Mario Maker 2.
Mario Maker 2.
No, I meant like PS4, Xbox One.
Oh,
Mario Maker 2.
Nothing really at all.
No.
Wolfenstein Youngblood. They didn't confirm a multiplayer. For
That has
yet.
that has no multiplayer though.
It has no multiplayer. Well, I think it's nothing.
I think
bro.
it has like it has online co-op.
You didn't.
Okay,
you didn't
yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear? PlayStation All Stars Melee is coming out.
What?
I'm playing.
I'm about to say, man. Oh, God.
I'm playing.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what was that? Matthew Campos with the $2 donation says, just playing Castlevania while lurking tonight. Shout out to my boy. Thank you for the $2 donation. Appreciate that. Crash Team Racing. That's
okay. Crash Team.
That's
not going to be bigger than Mario Maker 2 and Ultimate Alliance 3.
It might be bigger than.
It might be bigger than Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, it may be.
Hell no way.
All right, wait and see, mother.
It's
Do you see the hype level for Ultimate Alliance 3 and Crash?
Do you see
Team
the
Racing
hype
right
level? Yeah, go look at the hype levels for Crash Online, buddy. Go ahead.
No,
and
I am. It's nowhere near.
No, I'll wait. I'll sit here and wait.
No, people are looking forward to Crash.
Dude, there's a huge Crash community. Don't even try to front right now. Go look at the sales of Crash Bandicoot.
No, Baron, I'm gonna have to agree with Jordan here.
I don't see.
No, there's a lot of hype for Crash
see
Team Racing. There's a lot of hype for Crash, and it's on all platforms too. That's the thing. It's on.
It's on all platforms too. But
so
yeah. Maybe you check your facts before you run your mouth.
No, I ain't. Look, I don't care if you love your Crash and your Spyro.
I didn't say it because of that. I'm just saying.
Still trash. They still trash.
Okay.
Why?
Whatever.
Wait a minute. Crash Team Racing is not trash. The remake looks dope.
Look, let me say, I will admit Crash Team Racing was not trash. I had the original. So I was actually shocked how good that was. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 will sell 11 million copies. I believe so.
11 million?
Boy,
I believe it'll hit 10 million. Do you know how over
what are you?
Do you know how in the Marvel universe has never been more popular than it is now?
Bruh, Marvel Ultimate Alliance hit
11
10 million.
Are you serious? Spider-Man sold almost to 10 million.
That's Spider-Man on 100 million install base.
Exclusive, yeah.
Who gives a damn?
That the PlayStation people give a damn. What do you mean?
No, you talking about that's on 100 million install base. I don't give a damn about that. We have had Switch games eclipse that in record time.
But that's like Pokemon and that's like Mario.
Bro,
that's like Smash.
Marvel has never been as more popular it is than now.
I don't know. I don't know 100 million, dog. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you.
We're not going to get 10 million in a month. I'm not saying that.
You bought lifetime sales?
Lifetime, I believe, yeah, it will hit that.
Lifetime
would be. I think Marvel will probably sell at least over. I think 1.5 million to 2 this debut month.
I'll give it 3 for lifetime.
I'll 3? Give it 3 to 5 lifetime. 3 to 5.
Y'all bugging. Do you know how many people I see?
Bro, you're out here talking it like it's Animal Crossing.
Y'all bugging. People are actually saying they're buying a Switch for this game. Like,
but people were saying that about Spider-Man too. But it's not going to sell.
Nah, you're bugging. Y'all are bugging.
I'm just looking at all of the other games that are coming out this year alone. Like, this is the biggest year for the Switch yet in terms of games. So I'm looking at all of the games that are coming out this year and all the games that will be coming out next year, all the games that previously came out.
I don't think next year has a factor in it though. I think you need to look at this year. And
if you don't get it, if it's not in your top 5, it could get lost in the mix if next year's games are.
Here's the thing.
It comes out right after Mario Maker 2. It's gonna get overshadowed by the general Switch public.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's 2 different games. It's not.
It's different style games. It's
2 different style of games. They're not gonna overshadow each other.
It's not
happening.
Absolutely.
It's 2 different games.
If all you own's a Switch and your choices are, Mario Maker's coming out, and then the week after,
Jordan, what are you talking about? We just
get your vouchers, $100.
And plus, they also got that voucher deal too. So it's like
doing no voucher deal.
I'm using it, but
the people are using it.
Get yourself 1-2 Switch.
I think y'all selling that way too short. If Octopath Traveler could sell a damn million in like a month and a half,
but
y'all need to come on, bro.
That's not a good example because Octopath plateaued after about a month and a half.
That's true, it did.
Because it was an RPG throwback to the old school days. It's not as popular as Marvel.
No, that's what. We understand that, Baron. We understand. The only issue I think people are having, the only issue is that it is a packed year for the Switch.
That's what
You've
I'm
got
getting at.
it's in between Super Mario Maker and Fire Emblem Three Houses and Astral Chain.
You're not
And
understanding. You're not
Luigi's
understanding.
Mansion 3 and Animal Crossing
And Pokemon.
First of all, we don't have release dates for none of that. All that stuff is way after
No,
the fact.
we've got release dates for Astral
We
Chain,
are
Fire
coming
Emblem Three
in.
Houses.
Listen, we are
6
coming.
month period. No.
Hold on. We are coming in to a time where people are going to need something to play. We seen this last year. How many people ended up buying a Switch last summer around E3, and how those games did so well. Most notably, Mario Tennis Aces and Octopath Traveler.
Bro,
But
like, I
these
get the
games that are
excitement.
coming out this year are way more popular than those franchises.
Bro, I
Way
get
more
the
popular.
excitement, dude. I get having excitement for something you believe in, like you're really excited for, but you're putting all your chips in one basket. You're going
I'm
to
not.
Vegas with this and losing all your money.
I'm not putting all my chips in one basket. And plus, I don't know if y'all
100%.
noticing. I know if y'all noticing, but the chat is kind of agreeing with me. Y'all don't
No,
know
it's
disagreeing.
mixed.
No,
It's mixed.
I know.
it's
I'm
definitely not.
It's
It's
mixed.
definitely not
It's
just
mixed.
agreeing with you.
I
You're
think
only
y'all
you're
are
cherry.
bugging.
Your mind's cherry picking some comments right
You're
now.
cherry
all right.
picking, Baron. You're
All
cherry
right.
picking.
I've been looking the whole time, and y'all underselling it huge. Marvel's net. Once I seen how Spider-Man took off for PS4, I was like, Ultimate Alliance 3 is going to do very damn good. It's going to do.
Yeah,
it's
not
gonna do
11 million good.
Nah,
Let me ask you-
11 million is a little bit stretching it, but I do see 8 to 10 million.
That's
That's
overstretching it.
I don't.
Hey,
I
look,
don't think
I hope you're right. I hope you're
Listen,
right. I hope all the Marvel fans rush out and get. I hope you're right, dude. I hope you're right.
And also, I want to say it's like this will be the first time a third-party game sells on that level.
Yeah,
It's like how many third-party games are 5 and 10 million sold?
barely.
I don't think.
None.
I don't think. Can you consider that a third party game? Though?
It is. It's technically.
Well, here's the breakdown on this. Here's the breakdown on this. The game,
really can't-
it's a first party game. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
it's a licensed first party game. Same as how Spider-Man, or the same as how if any other developer like Microsoft or Sony wanted to license like a Marvel game or license some type of thing, and then pick a developer, then say we're gonna fund the whole thing. So Nintendo owns the rights to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. They don't own the rights to Marvel characters. They don't own the right. They can't sit there and take Wolverine and put him in Smash Brothers without a license or anything. But they own that game, just like they own Bayonetta 2, but they don't own Bayonetta. It was a license to use Bayonetta, and they own that game. That is what Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is. It is literally they own that game and that game only, and they can't do anything outside of that.
And I also think y'all gotta understand the people who also. This game appeals to pretty much, every other console owner as well if they don't have a Switch. So I think just like how Smash Brothers appealed to other console owners who didn't have a Switch at that time either. So it's like this is gonna be a significant. This game is gonna do humongous.
I love it. I love to see it. I'm not saying I don't want to see it, but I'm just.
I think it comes out at the right time because y'all came up with the other games. I'm like, that's cool and all. I would be worried if it was like October or something like that. But for it to come out in July, I think it's the perfect time. I don't think there's nothing that's going to be able to stop it. It's going to be so different from every other game. It's not like Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's definitely not like Mario Maker 2. So I mean, we see every month that the attach rate for the Switch is that people are buying almost 2 to 3, 4 different games.
You got Fire. Go ahead. My bad.
I'm saying you see every month it's like 6 Switch exclusives in the top 20. It's like people are not buying one game. So I'm just saying y'all selling it way too short. That game.
I don't think 3 to 5 million is selling the game short. That's damn good, dude.
That's really good.
Games would kill. A lot of games would kill to sell 3-5.
Hell yeah, they would.
What are the sales? What did anyone know the sales for the original? Like the other Ultimate Alliance games? I mean, those were across like the second game, especially was on like 10 different platforms.
Put it in context. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 only has over 2 million sold, so 3 to 5 is
3 to 5 is really good, and it's probably gonna keep its value. This game's not gonna drop in value because it's Marvel, because it's going to be it's a unique type of game that's on the Switch. Like you don't see a lot of action RPGs, Western. It looks like a Western action RPG, but then it also kind of looks like Japanese because the Japanese developers are making it, because there's going to be you can toggle on and off the numbers popping out. So it's just it's like this weird mix, you know, of Western design and also Japanese game design, all put into obviously with Western made characters with all the stuff. So it's very unique. I think you can do a lot better in Japan too. Because Team Ninja's making it, so it'll be advertised in that way, and Marvel does well there. So if this game can sell 3 to 5 million, it's gonna be at full price. It's pretty much gonna be at full price. That is a lot of money coming in. That's a ton of money for the budget for this type of game. I don't think this is not a this is not a high rise. Like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games were never big budget type of games. They never were.
And guess what, OJ? Neither was all those other games that sold 1 million on Switch.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so what I'm saying that if a game sells 3 to 5 million, that is not like underselling. That's very good. I mean, heck, dude.
No, I think y'all just selling short how popular.
It's not that, but Fire Emblem comes out a week after the game.
Fire Emblem's not going to have an effect on it. It's not.
It's a different type of game, but I think there are going to be people that maybe make some choices at that point.
Because like
I doubt it.
Because they're close.
Yeah, it's getting
they're close.
sandwiched in right between Mario Maker and Three Houses.
Fire Emblem.
It's got some time between Mario Maker. It does got about a good, almost 20 days.
I'm going to make my prediction right now. Okay.
And you got Daemon X Machina this summer or sometime this year.
I don't even know when that game's coming out. Hopefully it comes out. I really wanted it to come out before Astral Chain because I think it's going to do a little bit less if it comes out after Astral Chain.
I think it's going to come out before. I think it's coming out early August. That's just my thought.
But I'm going to make my prediction now. July NPD is going to be record breaking. It's going to be record breaking for Switch. And the top 3 games are going to be Mario Maker 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and Fire Emblem 3 Houses. That's going to be the top 3.
The problem is
that's going to be the top 3.
I don't know. I know for sure for June. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But yeah, I mean, it comes out at the very end. So yeah, it's going to be July. Yeah, basically, it's going to be July. Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
Dated. July 23.
I think Mario Maker is definitely going to be the top game. So I can say that, but I don't know about Fire Emblem.
That's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Trust me.
Because Fire Emblem comes out.
There's nothing else coming out. There's nothing else coming out.
I don't know if it's going to be 1, 2, 3. But you know what? I hope so.
That's my prediction. I'm sticking to it right
there. That's not a bad prediction. Right there. It's not crazy to think that.
1, 2, and 3.
Which one's going to be 2 and 3? Which one's going to be?
That's going to be hard. It's going to be. I can't really tell. I think Fire Emblem has gained a lot of popularity, and people are really starting to jump on. And this game looks phenomenal.
They're saying Youngblood is a day before Fire Emblem. So
Youngblood is a day before Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
I don't think Youngblood outsells Fire Emblem. I don't think so.
But it's on all platforms. That's the thing with NPD.
It is on all platforms, but I still don't think it does.
I think it might. I think it might, just because people are looking forward to there's not going to be anything, so I think it's good for.
That is true. There ain't going to be shit to play. New anything else. But
Lonzo in the chat said Dragon Quest Builders comes out July 12th.
Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders comes out July. And
ain't nobody taking that over those 3 games.
There's a good install base there.
They have their little crowd, but it's not going to be big enough to dethrone those 3 games.
That crowd isn't me.
Dragon Quest Builders is gonna do. It has its audience. That's really
it's gonna do like 10 million. I'm telling you. No, fuck 11 million.
I'm telling y'all, book it, write it right now. I wouldn't be shocked if 11 of the games in the top 20 were all Switch games in July. That's because those evergreen titles are still going to sell.
People buy Grand Theft Auto as if it's like a daily household essential or necessity here in the U.S. Like people out here literally buying Grand Theft Auto for just beeps and giggles. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we're gonna go buy some
and giggles.
I gotta censor myself. It's like they're buying, like they go buy some chips, they buy soda, and then they buy Grand Theft Auto. It's like, I already got Grand Theft Auto. Let me buy another copy just because. Like,
I don't know who's still buying Grand Theft Auto.
People are just, like I said, they're literally buying it out of necessity. Game. It's like they're buying it because they just want to at this point.
It's just crazy, but yeah,
I mean, just wait for 6.
I'm just telling you, for the month of July, I'm sticking to that prediction. Hold me to it. I'm telling you, it's going to happen that way. 1, 2, and 3, Mario Maker 2. Or Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. It's too easy. It's gonna be too easy.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer. Lock it in.
Fire Emblem is more popular than ever. A lot of people are really looking forward to 3 Houses. Nintendo also said that is a major franchise for them going forward, so it's going to get the marketing budget of a Probably not as like Mario, but it's going to get a marketing budget that a major franchise would get, which Nintendo said that after Fates, because Fates sold remarkably well on that ancient 3DS, yet they sold it at a premium. They sold multiple copies of the same game. They sold multiple copies of the same game at a premium price on 3DS. Oh, and DLC out the yang, and also a third expansion to that game called Revelations for $20, and people just bought all that crap. So Nintendo was very, very happy with that. Intelligent Systems, they're weirdos. It's like somebody. It's like they got one person who works at EA to make the business decisions at Intelligent Systems at times. It's like it's like a clash. It's like, hey, we're gonna do all this stuff good and put all the content. Then they have some crazy DLC guy that says, let's do all this DLC. That's what Fire Emblem reminds me of. But there's so much content in the game, people don't complain too much.
So much content.
So much content. Well, look, this is what I mean, guys. For those who don't know, this is what I mean. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, the DLC that they were selling at the beginning of the game cost more than the game.
Y'all supporting this?
Like the DLC that the season pass, it was a lot of content, but it cost more than the game. So that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes they go a little ham on the DLC when it comes to Fire Emblem. A lot of it you don't need, though, to be honest. Like a lot of it you just really don't
Chill
need.
on the DLC then.
And Shadows of Valentia didn't do anywhere near as good as Fates or as good as Awakening, but it still did okay. But anyway, all right. So we'll take a few questions. I've already had these guys on for way too late. It is late in the East Coast. So we'll take a few questions, then we're gonna wrap this one up. So if you have a question or two, feel free to drop it in the chat. Then we're gonna skedaddle.
Y'all get that like button to get us 200 likes.
Yeah, we need to hit that like button. We peaked at like 30 something people here. So, also shout outs to Five Nights at Freddy's that donated $2 and says Baron is truth.
I'm telling you,
Baron is the truth.
Oh, it's opposite day.
This guy.
This is the truth, man.
Will Astral Chain get a limited edition release in the States? Watch my videos, Dorkman. And right now we don't know. We don't know at this point. There's only one in Japan.
So everybody, you know what? While we waiting on those questions, I want everybody to make their prediction with me. Rank Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and Mario Ultimate Alliance 3. 1, 2, and 3. How you think it's going to pan out?
We all know it's going to be
in terms of sales, or it's like what?
For sales in July.
Sales in July, Mario Maker 2. And what was it? Fire Emblem, then Mario Alliance.
Mario Maker 2, then it's gonna be CTR, and then it's gonna be Fire Emblem, and then it's gonna be Grand Theft Auto, and then it's gonna be Marvel.
Oh Lord!
I you know what? That could be the case. That could be the case.
I doubt it.
John Duncan says, if you can pick one game, which would you pick this summer? Fire. Well, wait a minute. Nikes.
What is the choices?
The choices are summer games.
If I had a choice of one,
one that you can pick for summer titles.
That are just Switch exclusives.
Oh, no, anything.
Oh.
He didn't say that.
I'm sticking with
wow,
Astral Chains.
Damn, dude.
No, I think there's a lot of people just. I'm not even gonna get into that whole can of worms. I'll just say CTR, and then Mario Maker is pretty close to that for me.
Wow, you'll take CTR, but everything else.
Yeah, honestly, hell yeah.
You are a true Crash fan.
No, the game is just good. It's a good game.
You're a true Crash fan.
I
played it at PAX. It's great.
I plead the fifth. I'm not doing that.
I'm
not making that.
Have fun with your. Have fun with your Marvels and your Astral Chains.
No, I'm not talking about you, Jordan. I'm talking about the question.
17 houses. I don't know.
I'm talking about the question. I'm not choosing between those 4 games.
It's 14 houses.
Look, guys. That's picking between a child. I don't have more than one child. I only got one, but it'd be like picking between them. So,
listen, you can always pick your favorite child.
No,
you can always say that line, like, "Oh, I love all my."
Let's ask somebody who actually has multiple children here.
Sometimes some of the kids back up.
Would you pick between your little girl or your little boy, your firstborn son or your little baby girl?
Yeah, I picked them both up.
But what if you only had one hand?
I can't. I've done it.
I can't pick between his kids, and they're not even mine, and I don't know that.
What if you got one hand? Lord have mercy, baby.
What if you got one hand? They both going up with one hand.
Can't pick between the babies. Nah, man. I can't even pick between my nephew and my daughter. I can't even pick between that, and that's my nephew. So that's family. That's
Damn.
blood. So it's tough. So yeah, that's like Fire Emblem and Astral Chain, guys. I can't pick, so I'm not answering.
I can't pick it. A couple people actually predicted Fire Emblem would be the #1 selling game. That's interesting.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
Between Mario Maker and Fire Emblem.
I mean,
Mario
Awakening
Maker's
is
game of the year potential now. That game's gonna go nuts.
Yeah, Mario Maker's game. I agree with Jordan. Mario Maker's game of the year potential.
How many Game of the Year contenders is Switch gonna have? Jesus Christ.
None, because you guys know how people treat like Game Awards. None for everybody else.
Nah, I mean they gave Breath of the Wild. I think
that's because they had to.
That was a give me. That was like, well,
They did nominate the Mario Odyssey too. I mean, okay, I guess gimmies are Mario and Zelda games.
They had to that year. Otherwise, there would have been a revolt. If Zelda didn't win it,
this year they have to. There's nothing else coming out.
No, they're gonna find some type of West.
No, Gears 5. Gears 5.
Gears.
That's about it. That's about it.
Do you think Gears 5 is going to be a contender?
Yeah, because it's going to have graphics. It's going to have graphics and it's going to have online multiplayer, and people are going to
Why do you think Gears 5 is going to be bad?
I don't think it's going to be bad. I'm just saying, you think it's going to be that good where it's Game of the Year?
Yeah, because the original was Game of the Year, and Gears of War 2 was Game of the Year contenders. Gears of War 3 obviously was kind of, and Judgment was in. But,
was Gears of War 4 up for Game of the Year as well?
4 was
oh, okay.
Well, it kind of ripped off Mass Effect 2. That's the problem. It ripped off Mass Effect 2.
I think 5 is going to, bring some new stuff to the table.
We don't know shit about 5.
No, we know a little bit. We know about 5 a little bit. They've shown
it's going to be a female lead.
One quick, tiny little trailer with the female lead. I don't care about her story at all.
She was cute.
We play as Marcus Phoenix and his son. That's all I care about.
Yeah, baby,
I actually care about her story. So.
I don't give a crap about her and her locust dad or whatever. I don't care about that. I don't care about her.
What has she done for me lately?
Yeah, nothing.
I can see why people like Gears of War, but it's like whenever I play Gears, I just feel like bored when I play it. It's like the guns are
Gears of War.
Yo, you know what? Just start remastering them. I'll just start playing through them again. Just remaster them.
They've already done like the backwards compatibility.
No, I mean like remaster them. Like do all new graphics, not just like up-res like Gears 1.
Shout outs to Matthew Hammond. Says favorite condiment.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 is gonna be game of the year. That's easy. That's right.
Not with Randy Pitchford beating up people and.
Yeah, not because of Randy Pitchford. The game itself is going to be a high contender.
Randy Pitchford's going to make sure it's not Game of the Year when
both Borderlands 1 and 2 were Game of the Year potentials and had Game of the Year votes on many websites.
That's true.
Borderlands 3 is going to be massive. It's going to be huge. So don't sleep on that.
Here's the better question.
Hold on, real quick. Matthew Hammond's donation. He said favorite condiment: A, ketchup; B, mustard; C, relish; D, mayo.
Which one, OJ?
I plead the fifth. I like ketchup is cool, right? Ketchup's good.
Ketchup's fine. Relish is odd if you choose that. Mayo's terrible. Legitimately, mayo's awful.
Have you had olive oil mayo?
I just don't like mayo in general.
Okay.
Mayo is disgusting.
Nor Miracle Whip. People say, "Oh, it's different." No, it's the same shit.
Miracle Whip is disgusting. It's more disgusting than mayo, isn't it?
It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing to me. It tastes the same.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Cool Whip. Sorry.
No, Cool Whip's fine. Cool Whip's great. And that's not really a condiment. That's just diabetes.
I know,
that's diabetes in a tub. You have been talking about the Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. That was my favorite episode, by the way.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Because I want Noah's food reviews. What are you guys talking about?
Cool.
Oh, you don't get it? You don't. Oh, okay. Never mind.
I thought you guys were talking about Noah's food review. That's the guy.
No, he didn't watch. He didn't watch the episode.
He didn't watch that. How you haven't seen that episode?
Episode of what? Tell me what it is.
Family Guy.
Oh no, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
hey, cool. Say whip.
Oh no, I've seen it. Oh, with Stewie and
yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Stewie and the talking dog.
You mean Brian? Come on,
right. I'm not big on Family Guy anymore. I used to be big on it.
I see.
I haven't seen Family Guy as much either, so I get you. I stopped watching it 2-3 years ago. It got boring.
If you guys want to know what I'm talking about with Cool Whip, type in Noah's food review and type in Cool Whip, and you'll know what I'm talking about there.
Oh Lord,
it's pretty funny. Breakfast Club gave it a shout out, so you know it's funny.
Listen, review bruh or nothing, man. Only review bruh.
Who is I got a question. Here's a question for you. Out of those summer games, right? which one will be rated the highest?
Mario Maker.
Mario Maker.
Mario
You
Maker,
really
easy.
think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Mario Maker. I'll give you this right now. Mario
Oh,
Maker. For
hell
most,
no.
dude, most places
Dog.
are already giving that game a 10 out of 10.
It's
No,
gonna
Dog.
get. It's gonna get 10 out of 10.
Online co-op,
No.
dog.
It's gonna get 10 out of
It's a
10.
big deal, dude. There's
I-
gonna be
I don't
some.
think
There's
so.
gonna be a good
Online
amount of
co-op.
places that give it 9s because they're gonna find something that'll be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be a lot of 10s. You already know IGN's giving it a 10. Game Informer's giving it a 10 out of 10.
You really
They're already
think
getting
it's
paid
not
off
giving
by
it a 10?
Nintendo to get these 10 out of 10.
It's gonna get a lot of 10s. It's gonna get a lot of 9s. It's not gonna get anything lower than a 7. It's not gonna get anything lower. The most respectable website. It's not gonna get anything
Okay, hold up, wait, y'all bugging. Okay,
dude. Okay, look,
Hold
Mario
up, wait,
Maker.
no. Mario Maker on the Wii U.
Yeah,
I think it got 88, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, and this one blows away.
And this one is way better than the one on the Wii.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
has
is way
story mode, online, competitive, or just hanging out playing through the game. Like, there's so much you can do in it. It's the ultimate Mario game.
I'm not doubting the game.
Yeah, 80,
But I don't think it's going to be higher.
88
And-
average, dude, on
I
Wii
don't-
U. 88.
Yeah, and Fire Emblem been getting high reviews as well.
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem ain't getting a 10 out of 10. It's probably going to get a lot of 8s and 9s.
Fire Emblem. Here's the thing about Fire Emblem.
I think
They've been
Astral
divisive.
Chain. I think Astral Chain is going to be the one. Honestly, I
Do
really.
you think Astral Chain's going to sit out here with the 10 out of 10? Shut you.
I think it is. I mean,
No, it's
I
not.
think Astral Chain is going to pull a
Yo,
Nier
why are you guys?
Automata.
Why are you guys?
It's
banking on
going
this
to
game
pull
so
a Nier
hard?
Automata. I'm telling you, it's
You guys are
going to be in that
banking on
90
this game
range.
way
I
too
feel
hard.
like-
It's like
I think
the
Astral Chain has a
seventh
shot to
coming
be.
of
I think
Jesus.
Astral Chain has a shot to
not-
be 80s, high 80s, 90s. It has a shot.
Yeah, maybe, but not like a 10 out of 10.
No, not a 10 out of 10 because it's.
I didn't say nothing about 10. I say what's going to have the highest,
What-
average. Where's that?
Mario
We're
Maker.
saying Mario Maker's
Mario
gonna
Maker.
have the 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
so-
Mario Maker's gonna be the highest rated game of the summer for Nintendo.
because it's gonna be those 10 out of 10 ratings.
I think it's going to be a lot more close than y'all think it is going to be.
I mean, if you're talking about 8s and 9s, it's already close. But I'm saying if you're talking about what's the highest, it's gonna be Mario Maker,
the high-
hands down.
Because Mario Maker,
joke.
it's not. It's harder for them to mess up. Like it's when you get games like Astral Chain, it's so much easier for them to find faults in that than a 2D platform that lets you create everything that you want. You know. So it's easier. It's easier for a game like Mario Maker to rate higher, just like it's easier for a game like Celeste and indie games to rate really high because they're less complex in certain aspects. Celeste is nowhere near as complex.
I think Mario
you
Maker,
know, but it
Mario
rates
Maker-
really high. You know.
I think the rating is going to be high. I just think Astral Chain is going to be higher.
You
Higher than Mario Maker?
What's how you get
Mario-
higher than a 10?
honestly,
I
we-
can see Astral Chain hitting somewhere between 92 and 90.
I need to
can
see
see
more.
Mario Maker going to 89 to 90. I can see that.
No,
Be
dude, Mario
real-
Maker is the easiest 10 that Nintendo's ever put out at this point.
I think it's gonna be an easy.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be easy 10s across the not across the board because like Jordan said, there's gonna be people that pick out stuff, but I think it's gonna be 9s and 10s like bam.
And
'Cause,
I
like,
agree.
because
So wait a minute,
they're taking the 88, and they're saying, here's like 5 billion more things, you know, like
That's true.
it only goes up.
That's why I think it'll probably be around 89, 80, 90, 91, somewhere.
1 point better. 1 point better.
Listen, hey,
Bro,
I'm
it has a
agreeing.
story,
I'm
mode.
agreeing with you, but the thing is, I think the thing that people are going to be is like you had all the extra stuff, but a lot of the stuff you was able to do before. The majority of you was allowed to do before.
Okay.
So that's probably what's going to keep it in that same bracket. I don't think it's going to go down. It's not going to go lower, but I think it's in that same bracket.
But the few things they added is
It's
game
very-
breaking.
It's very astronomical what they're adding. But
So
I think
will
that's
the
what
rating.
okay. All right.
I like honestly,
It's-
I'm gonna be real. It's like I'm excited for Astral Change, but at the same time, I haven't seen enough of the game yet. I need to see more before I could feel confident enough to say it's gonna be a 10.
I
I think
believe in the
Astral
pedigree,
Chain-
my brother. I believe in
Well,
the
I
pedigree.
think Astral Chain is going to be a very divisive game where you're going to have. There's a good amount of people that are going to give it 8, 9s, and 10s. I can already see articles of a lot of people maybe not getting into it or saying this ain't it, Chief, or whatever, giving it about the lowest. I think we'll see the lowest score
It's about
of
40.
it. I will see it the lowest getting a 60. It being the lowest, and I can already see articles being like Astral Chain, more like Astral Plane, because this game doesn't have any like soul to it or whatever. We're going to see stuff like that. I think it's going to be one of those games that's going to go up and down the board more and be spread across. Mario Maker is going to be all the way at the top with mostly 8, 9s, and 10s. Astral Chain would be spread from 6 to 9s. Three Houses has a chance. I think Three Houses is pretty divisive as well because OJ, aren't they changing up a lot of stuff about that compared to other Fire Emblem games?
Yeah, the gameplay is basically what we've come to known to expect, but yeah, they're adding in some other things, and really the big thing here with this game is the academy. It's like, oh, wait a minute, why is there an academy?
Yeah.
It's always been like a war, or like you're like, it's not the same. Like there's a war in this one too, but there's an academy that you go to, so like school, so people are like, oh, is this like Persona? So I think that is the thing that's going to be a little bit divisive, where some people point that out and say, well, I don't like that, even though
I can see
it's a good
hardcore
gameplay mechanic because of what they're doing. It actually makes more sense now. Like, oh, you learn, and that's how you actually change classes instead of holding an item above your head and all of a sudden you become a great lord.
See, that's why I think like more like huge fans of Fire Emblem are going to like possibly have some issues with it. They'll be like, this isn't what the game like I want. Like this isn't the game that I loved before. And that's where I see the problem being. Maybe new people to the series are going to be fine with it. I think we'll see any complaints coming from people who really love the, previous games. That's just how I'm seeing it. That's just how I've seen the market go with other games, how I've seen journalists write articles and to get clicks and all that stuff. So I think the safest bet is Mario Maker. Anything else kind of has a few point scale where it's going to go up and down on. We'll see the same thing with Marvel. I think Marvel we're going to have 8s and 9s on that, but I also do think we're going to see 6 and 7s on
the graphics are going to be a thing that gets the game low.
People are definitely going to hit that on the graphics. They're going to hit on certain things like that, and that's what you're going to see. It may be petty. It may not be like something you personally agree with, but that's the way. That's how the whole journalism world works. It's either you scale it one way or the other, and you do it for clicks, or you're honest. That's just how it goes.
That's true, but I don't think you playing the cards right on how they will receive the game. If Nier Automata can get to a 90, I have no doubt in my mind Astral Chain can get to that.
Astral Chain can get there. Jordan didn't say that.
To be honest with you,
I didn't say it's not getting 90s. I'm saying it's going to be spread across the board by multiple people. I'm sure it's going to get a lot of 90s or 9s or whatever. But don't be like freaked out and be misunderstanding when people are giving it 6s or 7s.
I'm not going to freak out because I'm strictly based on the average, what the overall average of the game is going to be. What the meta average is going to be, what the open create average is going to be. That's
probably it's going to land in the Astral Chain, depending on how skewed it is. I mean, if it's all mostly 9s, it's going to end up with a high 8 to a 9. If it has some mixed stuff across the board, it's going to end up with a 78%.
Yeah,
I don't see that out of that game. I don't. It don't seem like that type of game at all.
Regardless if you see that, even if there's 10 9s, only a couple 7s or 6s is going to skew it down.
And that goes for any game.
I know. I'm not saying that, but like when you look at Mario, no one's going to get Mario Maker 2 and give that a 7. No one's going to get...
Because it's too basic to get it.
It's literally it's Nintendo's easiest bait. That game is literally printing them 10s from everywhere.
That's what we're trying to say. We're not trying to say. I don't think anybody's trying to say that like, oh well, this is going to be I mean, some people might say it's better, but I don't think he's necessarily trying to make that point. Even though Jordan is looking forward to it more, what he's just trying to say is that Mario Maker, because of the type of game that it is, it's easier for them, for the perception or for whatever the case is, to not skew it lower on reviews. Like Jordan said, people do this type of stuff, whether it's for clicks, whether it's for whatever. You got to put. That's just what happens, and people do write bad reviews for clicks. This is a thing that happens, and it's easy to do. It's hella easy to do with the game. With the Japanese
all
game.
The time.
With the Japanese game like Bayonetta, we saw it with Bayonetta. People gave Bayonetta 6s. Bayonetta literally got a 6 from. Where'd they get a 6 from?
And Bayonetta still managed to get a 92.
It did, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's what it's going to skew it down a little bit if you're talking about comparing it to other games. Bayonetta still got a 90 or whatever the case it was because there were so many great reviews. But there are going to be reviews that literally try to clickbait this, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Mario Maker, it's way harder to do with Mario Maker. With the Wii U, with Mario Maker on that, you could skew it down because of the damn Wii U, which people did, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can't necessarily do it with the Switch. You can't do it as much, but people skewed it down because it was on the Wii U. Some people did. and
I
using the
got you,
gamepad.
but I think y'all selling it a little bit too forward. I don't think this game is going to get that many tens. If that's the case, it's going to hit the Mario Odyssey range, and I don't think it's hitting on 97. If we're talking about that many tens, I think I think it'll still end up around almost a 90 or a 90.
I think
To
it's
be
going to end
honest
at
with you, to be
it's going
honest
to
with
end at a 95.
But you said like
95. Woo, that's
Uh-huh.
way too high.
It's
That's
gonna. I completely see it getting at a 95. It's gonna have so many tens. It's gonna have a couple nines, and it's gonna pull it down to a 95.
93 to 94 for me. That's what I'm
it's
98.
like you.
That's a safe bet.
One of the
man,
things
I don't know about that.
That's a really safe bet.
I think one of the things.
My bet is real quick. I'll let you go. My bet is
Are you good?
I think all four of them will hit 90.
That's asking a lot. There's
That's asking a lot from Marvel. The
as much
graphics-
as that would be great. There's too many other the variables on the other games are too out there. When
Fire Emblem,
Nintendo,
no.
yeah, no, especially this Fire Emblem out of any other Fire Emblem that's been made, absolutely. There is going to be a lot of people who love the original styles of Fire Emblem who are not into the new stuff that they implemented into this game. And there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to nitpick and point out things and just end up giving it a 7 or so, and it's going to pull it down. Even though 7's a great score, that's not a bad score. That's going to pull it down from that 90. That's going to pull it way down from that 90.
You saying that they might not like it. People might like it. It could go either way. That's the thing, though.
Absolutely, but if you actually go and look at all these analytics and you see how the market goes with games like this is what usually happens.
I agree.
When it's a first party title from at least Sony or Nintendo, there's a higher chance that game will end up at a between a 90 and 100. Every single time. If it's a big budget AAA release that has like the golden stamp of approval. Like when you get a Mario title or a Legend of Zelda title, that's almost guaranteed a 90 or above. Right?
Mhm,
When Sony comes out with a brand new, here's God of War. Oh, no, that's instantly guaranteed to be up there.
See,
there's certain things you can hit the market on like that and bank on knowing what it's going to get.
You know what? And to kind of just like I said before we get to Abaddon, like Nier, for example, Nier 88. Like I said, these bigger games that have all sorts of stuff, it's just a little bit harder for them. But Abaddon, go ahead, man. I know you want to speak on something.
Nah, I just wanted to say it's like just to stay on topic. One of the bigger things is we said what's going to be the highest rated games. No one's doubting that. Well, at least I'm not doubting that. Fire Emblem has the potential of reaching a 90, and I don't see Marvel Ultimate Alliance hitting 90. I see it more like 87, 88. But if it hits 90,
you might as well sell 90. You might as well say it.
Bro, I'm seeing Marvel Ultimate Alliance like an 80, like
80.
Yeah,
Dude,
like a
I'm
low
seeing that
80.
game.
Yeah.
That game is going to have a tough time. Like, honestly, I could see it, and this is not a knack on the game. This is just how I see the industry. I could see that game being as low as a 70.
Like a high 78 or something like that?
I think it's going to land between 78 and about 82.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be
see
in
it
that
being there
bracket.
because the graphics aren't good enough.
I think
no.
there's going to be
Y'all
other
selling
stuff.
it
There's going to be other stuff that people are going to point out.
Yeah, they're going to
way.
they're going to
definitely
nitpick
gonna
the
go for it.
combat. They're going
You can even take a game like Borderlands, which has great gameplay. It's going to be buttery smooth. It's going to be the most fleshed out version of Borderlands yet, and just keep improving on what we had. But there's going to be these reviewers that come out just because of someone like Randy Pitchford, or all the other stuff behind there that are going to automatically start giving it 7s instead of 9.
Yeah, giving it,
and it's going to skew that where that's going to land at probably between in the Epic Store exclusivity stuff. That's automatically going to skew that score up.
You can't be trusting these reviewers like this to do exactly the right thing.
No, I'm not.
You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course, I'm not trusting them. I'm keeping it in line. But I'm
Well,
also
you're putting a lot of trust in them.
So here's
no, I'm not. I mean, we all know. We all know what we're doing.
Here's how you should how we should all worry about this. Doesn't matter what the reviews are. Doesn't matter what these journalists say. As long as you like the game and you're interested in it, get it, play it, enjoy it, feel how you feel, and talk about that. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these journalists, and that's not a knock onto a lot of these websites. I'm sure there's great people working there, but we also know about a lot of not so great people working at these journalist companies that'll attack people on YouTube because they're YouTubers and they're not real journalists and all that stuff. When you're paid off to talk about games, when you're kind of a prick behind the scenes, if you have a ulterior motive behind the scenes, there's a lot of bad stuff that doesn't get brought to light. But in that case, it doesn't matter what the journalists say. don't give them clicks just because they're like, oh, Zelda Link's Awakening. Oh, I'll be the one guy who gives it a 5. You know, like don't.
Which there will be that guy. By the way.
100%. But don't fall for that. Don't give the clicks. Don't give the reaction for that. Listen to what you're already excited for. If you're interested in it, look at it. Look at people who on YouTube, if you want actual reviewers who are not in it, they're not paid to talk about it or whatever. Listen to how they feel about it. If they're into it, listen to people who are just regular YouTubers who aren't into it. Hear about it that way. That's how you're going to get your best pinpoints on the game. Go to places on Reddit or on other forums that don't have ulterior motives and just do the research for yourself.
Okay, I got what you're saying, but I just got to say, let's stop trying to make reviews less important than what they are. I don't like this trend. I really don't like it. I feel like it's an excuse for people to, hype up and justify buying trash. And that is the problem we have right now, is that too many people invest in too much garbage.
That's a whole nother beast, guys. And this,
thing
will go on forever if we continue with this. So we're gonna have to stop it. I've taken way too much of you guys' time. It's midnight where you guys are at. So I've taken too much of you guys' time. We're gonna go ahead and end it right there, guys. I think this was a pretty entertaining podcast. Shout outs to the viewers today. Over 250 people the whole stream. We never dipped below that. That's crazy. I think
you're welcome.
Yeah, you're So shout outs to everybody coming through. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Let's go ahead and do some outros here. Starting with Jordan. Jordan, where can they find you at, my man? We got a lot of people here, so make sure you let people know where they can find you.
Sorry, no face cam today because my computer's having problems with the internet, and that's fun. You can find me on my new channel, What's So Good, on YouTube. Go subscribe to that. Obviously, on my main channel, Jordan Fringe, we're not gonna hit that 30,000 by the end of May. We're not close to it. But if you guys go and subscribe to this new channel and give the videos a like or leave a comment saying I'm here from the PE podcast, then just maybe I'll still do that review with that certain game and where those certain things that come in the game, if you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, that's it for me.
All right.
I give this podcast a 78.
7.8 out of 10. Not enough water. Not too much. Not enough water. Not enough water drinking on this podcast.
Too much water made me thirsty.
I have my water on deck.
Abaddon, my man. Thank you so much for joining us out of nowhere. I do appreciate that. Let people know where they can find you at, my man.
Anytime, man. Anytime. If you need me on, I got you.
Thank you.
You can find me at my channel right now. I'm rebranding my channel. I'm doing mostly VGM and beat remixes of your favorite video game themes, and I'm looking to see how I could actually make this even better. So instead of doing 2 videos a week, I'm going to do 1 video a week to give myself more time for mixing and mastering each track a lot better for you guys, also to give you better video editing. The beat breakdowns, I'm going to rebrand those into their own separate videos so I can make those longer and better and actually be more informative and actually get some value in that. So that's going to come at a later date. And outside of that, I do opinion videos, reactions, and reviews. And I have my Chillcast every Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to peep that out, link's right there.
All right, shout outs, man. Thank you once again. And Baron, where can they find you at, my man?
Y'all know what it is. You can find me.
Wait, what is it?
You can find me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That song came to my head. As soon as you said that song came to my head.
Oh, you put it? Oh, okay. You can find me at your local grocery store buying a lot of No, let me stop. But y'all can find me at my channel. You know what I mean? The Emperor Baron Black. I got 2 new videos up. Y'all need to go check them out. I'm gonna link them in the chat box. Yeah, 2. I did work this week.
They're actually pretty
2 whole videos.
2 whole videos.
I saw my feed. Like, okay, Baron's working.
I put 2 videos up, so I'm gonna link them in the chat right there. I can go ahead and watch this in the chat box right now. Go ahead and watch that. Just remember my prediction. I'm holding true to it. You know what I mean? I have faith in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, even though the rest of the panel don't.
You gotta have faith.
End of July. We'll see.
Then we'll see.
Hey, what's gonna happen when when the Marvel game has an area that has flat grass and you're gonna sit there and be like, no, it's okay in this game because it's Marvel.
First of all, I don't think we're gonna have any grassy environments in that game. So. I haven't seen one yet. So.
I see one. I'm a screenshot it and tag you on Twitter. I'm like, sir, I need your opinion. How do you rate this grass?
Oh man, I'll rate the grass, man, but I haven't seen no grass yet.
Yeah.
E3 is almost here. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what we got in store. I'm ready to see what surprises are going to happen. I'm ready to see what Microsoft is going to throw on Nintendo Switch. But that's about it. And y'all follow me on Twitter because Twitter has been hilarious.
Follow on Twitter. All right, guys. Sorry for the late podcast. Like I said, we had some technical difficulties, but we will be back. We will be back next week, Thursday, every Thursday at 6 p.m. PT, 9 p.m. Eastern is the normal start time. Tomorrow, I got a town video for you guys tomorrow, so look out for that. I got Marvel Ultimate Alliance for you guys up on the channel today. I also got, what else did I do? I did Mortal Kombat, talked about the sales of that, and Switch NPD. So all of that is there on the channel for you guys.
Woo.
A lot of you guys are already checking that out. Already 3K views on the Marvel video. So thank you guys for the support. And we will see you guys back tomorrow morning. We're going to have back to the same thing. We're going to have PE Live. And we're probably going to do some game streaming of like Mario Kart or something at night. So, or during the day, one of those two. Whatever I figure out. But either way, there's going to be a bunch of content on the channel. So check back. Anyway, bye guys. Thanks for watching.
That's crazy.
Peace.
Peace.
No flat grass, gang.